and recording.
Oh, yeah.
So, hey everyone, welcome back to our next stream of the Song of the Wilds. For those of you who are just watching us and joining us right now, this is our little homebrew Dungeons and Dragons campaign. We're currently using 5e rules here, but ultimately we're here just to have fun. We all believe that the rules of cool will always trump the rules as written. I am Evan, your dungeon master. We have Carly, our barbarian. We have Sterling, our wizard monk. We have
Wizard Monk Cleric.
Wizard monk cleric. Yes, we have Yip, our monk, played by Class. We have Polo, our tiefling fighter number 1, played by Leah. We have Kiera,
And general pain in the ass for the team.
Yeah, general hard ass. We have Kiera, our tiefling fighter number 2. And then lastly we have Jordan, who plays Are you complaining about back pain? Talk to your doctor about Atarax. our white dragonborn, like, pure cleric.
Yeah.
All right, so before we get started, just a couple of announcements. For those of you watching us just now, you're probably noticing a link at the bottom of the Twitch broadcast stream. Normally we don't like to do anything really political, like in our group and such, but we feel like it is still a good idea to, at the very least, acknowledge the situation going on in the U.S. right now, and we do stand with civil rights and such. I think that should be kind of obvious on what people should be doing. So now we do have a link posted where you can go to find various places to donate to various organizations and such for the good cause. Unfortunately, because I am an idiot and I don't know how to do stuff in Streamlabs OBS, the link is not clickable. But at least you know, like, what to type in your search bar. So it's as we've all been saying before I hit the record button, it's better than nothing. We also have a new member in our stream here, Leah. She will be sitting in with us. Beyond that, though, does anyone else have any other, like, announcements that they want to say?
I do.
Oh, Yip, what do you want to say?
I have a special thing that I'm going to be doing this week. Again, given the current climate in the U.S. and the donation links, I'm going to be donating $5 for every Nat 1 we get. I will be donating $10 for every Nat 20 and $26 for every 26 we roll.
Nice.
Yeah, because if you all been watching our last session, Sterling rolled a 26, and no one has been able to beat that record until, like, much later. But even then, like, that reputation was set. All right, and does anyone else have any other announcements?
So it's not anything spectacular or fancy, because it's not me matching anything. I'm playing with the lovely Wormwood dice.
Ooh, Wormwood Gaming!
Oh my god!
So,
With these gem cut
oh yeah.
stone wormwood die.
Ooh.
Very nice.
Dude.
I have the best boyfriend who gives
I
me
need
very
to
Gee, oh, what the heck?
Let's not go crazy there.
I have an announcement.
Yes,
Yeah.
Carly, you have an announcement.
Izzy, who plays Mistral, the bard elf, it was her birthday yesterday.
Oh,
That's
shit.
right.
So she and I did talk a little bit before the stream a couple days ago. She did mention that she is most likely going to be late, unless it wasn't obvious that she is not with us right now. But yeah, as soon as she comes online, we're just going to instantly put a pause on the playing, and we're all going to sing happy birthday for her. This was all Carly's idea.
just like mine.
Yeah,
Yeah, just like yours. We're all about friendship here. All right.
Except I don't have cake this time.
And we have cake this time, yes!
No, I don't have cake this
No
time.
cake, so I was special.
You're
I
making
got
expectations so high.
Carly, you get disadvantage your next roll.
Oh,
I have time because I got a full-time job now.
Yeah, that is very true. All right. Are there any more now? Oh boy, this is going to be a long night. Are there any more announcements from anyone?
no.
Not for me.
Alrighty, well then, with that said, let us begin. By the way, if you don't know, this music is from one of my all-time favorite, like, old generation games, Panzer Dragoon.
Oh, I was gonna either say that or Dragon Quest. So.
Where we last left off Group D of the Greyblades, they found themselves finally accepting a mission that took them to the harbor city of Lunas, a thriving fortress metropolis that was very high class, a little bit more high class than everyone was pretty used to. They finally were able to meet the... Wow, I think that's a little too loud. They finally were able to meet their client, Baron Edmund, a very rotund, happy man with a big walrus mustache who may or may not be Jiminy Glick. And he finally let them know of the situation. He wanted to hire the group to just be added security because the very next day they were all going to be a part of a huge banquet in Baron Edmund's honor, and also where he can show off the latest additions to his high-class collection, which was 4 very dangerous beasts that him and his own team of personal hunters were able to capture just to be, like, place conversation pieces for the party. And with that said, I actually printed out some visual aids so that everyone can have an idea of what these creatures actually frickin' look like now. So the first one that he captured was a Gorgon, which is what this looks like.
Oh, Jesus.
The next one, the Bewlet, which is that big mouth burrowing creature, this is what it looks like. These are pictures straight out of the Monster Manual.
Yeah.
You're straight out of the Monster Manual.
Your mom's out of the Monster Manual.
Repeat by 1 second.
The third creature is an Atyug, and that's what this thing is.
Displacer beasts are
And then finally, Yip was excited about this guy, a Displacer Beast, which is this guy.
They're baby. I love them.
Oh, that's really cool.
Yeah, and the best part is, these things can frickin' teleport.
That kind of looks like, I don't mean to go on a tangent here, but that thing kind of looks like Oogie from Dirty Pair in his panther form.
I have yet to watch Dirty Pair, but that's on
I'll put it in the Discord chat. But yeah, it kind of looks like that.
Alrighty, so with that being said, let me quickly get my music change here. Ah, darn it. No. Get back to the right music. Okay, here we go. Finally. I'm a DM. I should be prepared. All
It's
right.
okay. We all make mistakes.
Anywho, so right now it's a little past midday. Baron Edmund has already given you like a huge tour of his huge estate with mansion, ballroom, courtyard, the place where he kind of has the beasts in cages somewhat hidden before he kind of pulls them out to show off to his guests. He then explained to you that he's been hearing rumors that there is going to be an attempt on his life possibly at this party. Now, like I said, it's a little bit past midday, like we'll say like 2 p.m. or something, relatively speaking. So and the party is going to be tomorrow night. So you guys can take this time to prepare, talk amongst yourselves. You have an entire city to walk around here in. And remember, you guys did mention that the real reason why you wanted to come here was to see Lunas's extensive library to hopefully learn more about the resident pantheon of gods and goddesses that society worships here. What are you guys gonna do?
I know Sterling said something about going to Jeremy Aberdasher to get supplies he needs.
Yeah, Sterling, were you still wanting to go get some supplies for yourself?
Yeah. So, let me see. Essentially, I'm trying to go to that wizard or alchemist shop or whatever we decided he was.
It was a wizard shop. You needed, like, scrolls and such, I remember you saying.
Yeah, I guess I am going there to see what he has available.
Alrighty, not bad. So, oh no, Davina vanished. Uh-oh.
Oh.
Oh,
Sorry, people were cutting their lawns outside, and I didn't want to see. I want you guys to see me like awkwardly reaching to close my window.
oh, you're fine. Okay, so Sterling, you're going to what was his name's haberdashery?
Jeremy
Jeremy
Haberdasher.
Haberdasher.
Jeremy Haberdasher and his haberdashery.
Gesundheit.
Anywho, is anyone going to be joining Sterling at this time?
I think I'm gonna stick around here.
You're gonna
so.
stick. You're gonna stick around the Edmonds Manor.
Yeah.
Okay, so Polo's gonna stick around. Is anyone gonna be going with Sterling, or is anyone gonna be kind of going off doing their own thing?
I think I'm gonna go off
I'm
and
gonna
do
do
my own thing and try and figure out where that library is.
Okay, so
Yeah, I'm gonna follow Davina.
Yeah, I'm gonna help Davina with the library.
okay, awesome. So and Atarax, what are you doing?
I'm gonna go find a temple or shrine of Ishtar, pray for an hour, and see if I can bless some holy water.
Okay, awesome. So we're gonna focus on Sterling here because he was the first one who kind of spoke up on what he's gonna do. So Sterling, you go off on your own into basically the downtown area of Lunas. Again, this entire city is, like, relatively speaking, very upscale. Like, there's no slums here. There's no like any kind of class differences here. This entire city was made for the wealthy. And they feel comfortable showing off this kind of wealth because they got the Navy here. They got these huge stone and steel fortress walls that protect them from the wilds outside their borders. Like, the general mood in this city is everyone is pretty calm and comfortable. You spend some time walking down the street, and you do see Jeremy's haberdashery. As you know, Jeremy is someone you've met in your travels. He is a gnome wizard, known for wearing, like, he's very eccentric, from what you last remember. Kind of the opposite of Petey that you remember back in the old rundown church back in Acheron. Now you walk into the store. There's already a couple, like, nobles walking around, though it looks mostly like they're just looking around for just collection pieces, things to show off, not really taking wizardry seriously and such. At the top of a ladder, you see basically a bright beacon of bright orange, and you can tell that these are the standard colors of Jeremy himself. Just like orange cloak, orange pointed hat, and he's got, like, flowing blonde hair coming out of the back of the hat. Yes, Carly.
I'm really sorry. Izzy just texted me. She'll be on in 5 minutes.
Okay, awesome. So we'll have our bard back soon. So yeah, it looks like Jeremy hasn't noticed that you've walked in yet. The door was just kind of pried open to let, like, the nice cool ocean breeze in. He seems more focused on this noble couple. What are you gonna do?
I'm gonna actually just let him speak to the noble couple. Kind of actually, like, if he's not paying much attention to me, I'm gonna draw no attention to myself. And I am just gonna wander the shop and just browse around until he's done being polite, waiting my turn.
Okay, awesome. So as you walk around, it does kind of sound like these nobles are somewhat giving him a hard time. It looks like a Karen and Chad that he's dealing with right now. As you know, as are all nobles. As you walk around, this shop is like a wizard's wonderland. It's got, like, crystal balls. It's got little arcane focus crystals. There's an entire aisle of just scrolls of various sizes and shapes. Different types of what kind of paper you want. Do you want papyrus? Do you want actual paper? Do you want parchment? This place is like a Blix arts and crafts shop for wizards. As you continue walking around, you do hear these nobles. They've left in a huff. Like, they definitely didn't seem happy, and you just hear, frickin' pigs. All right, who else walked in my shop? Do you need something? You need some help?
I'd approach as I'm kind of, like, looking over my shoulder at the nobles that just walked past, and I'd say, "Geez, what was that about?"
Oh, Sterling! I haven't seen you in so long. Yeah, don't worry about them. They hassle me from time to time trying to get deals that don't exist on... jeez. They think crystal balls are, like, purely for decoration pieces. But no, these are actually meant to be used. They're not meant to be put in your chandeliers, assholes.
Do you regret opening up shop in a place full of to the audience? I kind of like look over at the camera. These muggles.
Wink, wink.
A wink.
And he just kind of waves his hand and goes, "Nah, I still don't quite regret it. The few people that do buy my things, they pay so much gold here. Like that easily makes up for all of the bad words that I get told here. But hey, then again, I'm the only wizard shop in this entire Forsaken City here. Anyway, enough sad things here. How can I help you out?" Oh,
First of all,
pause
welcome
that
back,
for
Izzy.
a moment. Mistral? We have a Mistral! All right, everyone.
Betty.
1, 2, 3. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Izzy. Happy birthday to you.
Yeah, we're all like,
Out of
We
sync.
were so out of sync. That sucked.
Okay.
it happens.
Did you have a good birthday yesterday, Izzy?
Yeah, we had like a Mexican fiesta in my backyard.
Ooh, nice.
Tell us all about it. Give us all the juicy deeds.
We had, well, me and my cousin, as always, did a photo shoot on the side of my house.
Nice.
And I have leftover tacos.
Ooh,
Nice.
tacos sound great right now. Anyway, Izzy, good news. You really didn't miss much, like at all. Like everyone's now just kind of off doing their own thing, prepping for the big banquet party that's going to be tomorrow. We're focusing on Sterling right now. He's in a wizard shop. Davina, Yip, and Eden are heading to actually find that library that everyone's been talking about. Polo is sticking behind as just some extra muscle for Edmund. And Atarax is going to try and hopefully find a small little altar for his goddess. So we'll get back to you in a moment once we're done with Sterling stuff here. So yeah, back to Sterling. Jeremy Haberdasher basically asks you, like, how can we help you out?
So I'd say, God, forgive me. What's the noble's name that we're going to be defending?
Baron Edmund.
Baron Edmund. And I say, I'm working on under another noble out here.
Oh, really? Which one?
The cheaper of the few. Baron Edmund.
Oh, jeez, that guy. I swear, this guy almost kills himself like 3 times a week because he finds shit that he thinks is cool, but, like, everyone warns him. Like, he keeps on, like, oh my god, I could go on for hours about this guy. Wait, why are you working for him? What happened?
Money, and I kind of like lift up like my Grey Blades badge, or we get these little badges, right? That's what this.
Yeah, everyone has like a little iron badge that looks like a fist holding a sword.
And so I lift that up and I say, I work for the Grey Blades now.
And he just kind of like looks at it for a moment. Really? You? Actually working for people? Wow, that's new. Well,
He sits there. I'm sorry, go ahead.
Hey, still though, hey, money's money. Hey, you gotta get it where you can find it.
Whenever he says working for people, I kind of look up, just thinking for a moment, not like letting any scene pass, not letting any scene pass the audience, but I shake my head really quick. And I say, well, I'm thinking I might be able to make you a bit of coin here, though.
Oh, really? So, what would you like to have here?
Um, Out of game, Evan, I sent you a list of what he probably would have if he was selling scrolls.
Okay, yeah, let me
Um,
just take a look at that. I realized I should have had a Discord thing open here, so I can still receive messages here without breaking the video chat. Okay, here we go. Okay.
And that's just a general idea. What I'm looking for is that second thing, and I can roleplay that out.
A cleric scrollum, you said?
Oh, yeah, ignore my typo. A cleric scroll that I'm looking
the cleric scroll I'm hoping you may have. Zone of Truth. Gotcha.
for. Yes.
Okay, awesome. Okay.
So yeah.
No, you first this time.
I'd say he's having a bunch of people over, a bunch of nobles over, and he's claiming that there may be a few nobles that are, well, looking to have his head.
Yeah, who isn't?
I shake my head and I say I'm tired of this noble drama. But anyway, I heard of a spell that would make it more difficult to lie of people's attentions that we could use at the front entrance. I was hoping that you might have something similar.
He just kind of thinks for a moment, kind of looks back at his long aisles, kind of looks back at you and just kind of grins like, I think I might have something. Quickly trots off in his own little halfling quick little steps. And you can kind of see him like at the far end of the scroll hallway of Wizard CVS here. And he is just going like, no. Aha! And like pulls out this large scroll with like purple ends on it, and he just kind of waddles over to you. He kind of looks at it, looks at you with a smile. I think this might be what you're looking for. With this scroll, you'll be able to cast a special kind of magic called Zone of Truth. Now, with this little spell, anyone who finds themselves in this little selective area, your choice, of course, they are literally incapable of lying. There is a downside to this one, though, and this is where you're going to have to be a little bit tricky. If people enter this spell, they're going to inherently know that a spell is cast on them. So you got to be tricky. Try to be a little clever on how and where you want to cast this spell. And then he just kind of carries the scroll over to the counter, like takes the small little stairs up to the top of the stool, so he's now actually like eye level with you. Okay, was this all you wanted?
I say, well, I'm interested in some other stuff you may have. Do you have anything? I kind of like sit there and think for a moment. I say, do you have anything that could cause a little mayhem?
Like me.
What? He sets the scroll down and he just kind of thinks for a moment. Yeah, mayhem's gonna be a little bit tricky. Mostly because I have so many things that can actually cause mayhem, especially if you use them wrong. Like, was there a specific kind of mayhem you were looking for?
Like me.
I say, God, I have no idea how I'd roleplay spell names.
Just give a description of what you're looking for.
Yeah.
Well, how about this? Let's we'll give you some time to think about it. Let's move on to another scene so you can kind of, and then maybe we'll have a time skip to make things a little bit easier. All right, so with that being said, we're now going to focus the camera on Yip, Davina, and Eden. The three of you, and if I'm right in remembering this, Eden, you now currently have the orb.
Yes.
Okay.
It is always in that backpack.
It is always in your backpack.
Yeah.
All right, so Eden, Davina, and Yip, you're walking down the street. You actually went past Jeremy's haberdashery. You've walked past a couple nobles. They've all kind of given you some looks because it's kind of obvious that you're not from this town here. And And Eden, you actually do kind of notice there's some rustling in your bag, and
Oh.
your little fox friend decided to poke his head out, hop out of the bag, and starts like walking next to you.
I love him already. He's so cute.
Love him so.
Is anyone giving him like not nice stares?
A
Just, you
couple
know.
nobles are giving him weird looks, like, "Oh, you actually have a wild animal in our city." Like they don't know that this fox is peaceful, but
Yeah.
they're still giving, especially the fox, some dirty looks. By the way, what was the fox's name again?
Axel.
Axel. Thank you. Let me actually write
Yep.
that down. All right. So what do you do?
It's in my channel in Discord, by the way, because I tagged everyone.
I gotcha. All right. So you three and Axel are walking down the street. You're getting some weird stares. How do you proceed?
Well, I pretty much was let the fox know stay close, because people don't know.
Yeah, people don't know, and Axel does do that. Just kind of nuzzles up next to your leg while actually able to keep pace with you.
Good. Oh no. Why? Why'd you pick him up then? I think we're just gonna. Do you want me to go first then, Davina?
It's
Like,
up, I mean, it's up to you three. Like, how do you guys
How do you
interact as you try to find the library?
I want to pet Axel. It's my top priority.
As you or Davina?
both?
Yes.
Okay, good enough. You pet the fox so nicely, and he's just like, like Axel's loving this.
Oh yeah.
And I look at Eden and I just say, "How's the orb doing right now?"
Can I sense anything from the orb?
Make a perception check.
Oh god. Turn. It's the thing. What is my perception?
-1.
15.
15. All right. You do get a faint sense that if the orb was able to have like a face right now or something, it is just like curiously looking at all of the huge buildings all around it. But it's keeping to itself. It's mostly just observing right now.
Okay. Doing pretty good. It's not. Nothing's going on. Nothing's wigging it out.
I know where the library is because I've been here before. I feel like Davina would have probably sought out the library.
Make a history check.
There it is. I got a 4!
You have no memory of where the library is.
Jesus.
You have been here a lot, but
no idea where I'm going.
I mean, you do have a vague sense about what the city in general is like, but you doubt if you even went to the library the last time you were here. Like, your time was preoccupied.
The commoners, why would I do that? Why would I go to the library?
Yeah, exactly. There's a lot of people like that here as well. Anyone else want to try something?
Can I? I'll
Uh,
try and do. Can I do another perception of to like?
so we know it's like a pretty big library, right?
It is rumored to be like the biggest library in all of the civilized areas of the continent.
At least since the burning of the library at Alexandria. Never forget.
Would I know where the library is?
are
Are
you
you with them? Like, you kind of came in late.
I'm not sure. Am I with you?
That's up
I
to
don't
you.
know. Are
Because
you
we
with
all
us?
kind of went off and did our own thing.
All right, how about this? We'll let the dice decide. Izzy, roll a d20 for me.
High or low?
Just roll a number.
Roll it then.
No, I'm not doing it.
I got a 15.
A 15. All right. You're actually lagging behind the group because you got a little distracted looking at something before you left the manor to go join them. So the three of them actually don't know that you're following after them.
Okay.
I was distracted by tacos.
That's fair.
There was the medieval version of a taco truck here.
Why do I picture something like that being in Shrek?
Because it would be.
Yeah.
All right, so
So I will, since we know it's a really big library, supposedly at least. Can I fly up kind of above the city and see if I spot a really big building that would probably be the library?
all right, so you definitely do fly up there. Now you're the one where like all the nobles' attentions are on you. They're all like, "Ooh." All right, so because you're so high up, roll me a perception check with advantage.
All right, I have +3 to that. Thanks for the advantage. I got a 2 on that first one. I got a 5 + 3, 8.
Okay, 8. You fly up there, and with the intent on trying to figure out a huge building that might be the library. When you realize, as you look off, like in the other sections of the city, there's a lot of big buildings there. So you find the area where it might be, but you don't really know which of these buildings it is.
Well, at least I narrowed it down a bit. I'd fly down and land with them and say, like, hey, we should probably go this way, general direction.
All right, so so all of you follow, and just for the sake of plot, we'll say that Mistral actually like catches up to you now. So now it's the 4 of you. So you keep on walking. Takes about like 20 minutes to get to that section with the bigger buildings and such. And there's like 4 buildings. One, it looks like a giant square, almost like a. How can I describe it? It kind of looks like a Greek Parthenon with a blue dome on the top of it. The next one, I mean, these buildings look very, like if you took ancient Greek structures and just kind of modernized them a little bit, that's what they kind of look like. Actually, for the sake of making it easy on you guys, these buildings, it looks like the museum campus in Chicago, like the Field Museum, the Shedd Aquarium, Museum of Science and Industry. It kind of looks like you're in that area right now. I mean, I can't think of really any other reason to how to describe these buildings without, you know, comparing them to real life buildings. So that's basically what these buildings look like right now.
Mistral, you mentioned would you know where it is because you've been here the most.
Mistral, would you like to roll a history check?
I got a 22.
Okay. You're able to remember precisely which of these buildings is the Lunas Library. And it's actually the first building that you passed by. It's the big Parthenon with the blue dome.
All right.
Guys, it's right there.
And as you look
Well,
at
why didn't you say that when we passed it?
And as you look at the building, you realize it says Lunas Library right at the front.
Here we go.
All right, so do you guys like go into the library?
Tourist.
Okay,
No.
yeah.
Yeah.
Tourists.
I'd like to think that when we go in the library, because Davina really likes books and literature, I'm just like
All right.
stars in my eyes, anime, like wow.
So this library is huge on the inside. There's like multiple stories and levels of it. You do realize that there are actually quite a lot of people in here, despite like the high class yuppiness that everyone seems to have in this city. But you do notice that there are a lot of elderly people of quite a number of different races, in all of them wearing blue robes, and they're all carrying books. They're standing next to patrons. They're answering questions and such. The moment you guys enter, this one elderly gnome with a long, no, not gnome, I meant dwarf, with a long white beard, kind of walks up to you and goes like, "Oh,
You're racist. Sorry.
with a
No,
long,
dwarf erasure.
oh god." He walks up to the party and goes like, "Oh, may I help you?"
Oh god, I can't.
Yes. Eden, what would you say we want to look for?
Shit. Not actual poop.
I didn't
Um,
think we'd make it this far.
Is there any books possibly talking about a former pantheon, sir?
He just kind of thinks for a moment, kind of frowns a little moment before looking back up at you and goes like, "Well, I can't think of anything that has a former pantheon, but if you want to learn about the gods that we actually have," he kind of points up to the second floor middle section to the right, and he goes like, "That right there is our religious section."
I'm noticing a pattern with these religious people.
That was unintentional how I'm playing this guy. I'm sorry.
No. I mean the fact that they're really adamant that they're to this one.
They just have a lot of faith, dude. But yeah, he just kind of welcomingly, he just kind of like slowly points up at that one section on the second floor, and it goes like, "Just a moment," and then he like bangs his staff twice on the ground, and that's when you see this one human boy. He seems to be like 20 summers old, and he just kind of runs up to you. He's completely bald, gives you all a short bow, and he goes like, Sir Smythe, are they new patrons?" "Yes, they are. Make sure that they find exactly what they're looking for." Very well. And what section are you all going to today?"
Religious section.
"Ah, very well. Follow me." And he just kind of leads you up huge marble stairs. As he's walking, he kind of turns to you. "Is this your first time in our library?"
Mm-hmm.
Why, yes.
All right. Very well. Just there's just a couple rules that you just need to be observed. One is, you must always have an attendant with you during your time here. We're not just here to make sure that any assistance you need is acquired, but we're also here to make sure that we can enforce our second rule, which is you're not allowed to actually take books out of the library. You're more than welcome to take as many notes and transcripts as you wish, but you can't actually remove material outside of the building itself. But that's where we come in. We've all been trained in writing and such, so if you have any requests for notes and such, I would be most happy to help you out. As he's talking about this, he successfully made it to the section, and this section is huge. There's a lot of material here.
Just one red flag after another with these people.
All right. So if I were a rogue, I would definitely be thinking, okay, goal, take at least something from this place.
I was literally thinking the same thing.
But I'm a monk, so I can't do that.
Well, he's
mean,
right
I
now
have
just.
it.
No one has to know.
Well, he's standing at the end of the aisle, just watching you, ready to help you out if you have any questions.
Judy, don't leave us the fuck alone.
So, what are you guys gonna do when you're in this section?
Look for any books on nature and gods.
I mean, are all the books just like if all the books just labeled on the sides?
Oh yeah, they're all labeled. They all have like some stages of like how recent they are versus how like ancient they are. Some have shown a lot of wear and tear just from constant use in basic age. This seems to be not just where they can like get new incoming donations of books and such, but this is also where they archive all of their old, like really old first edition ancient stuff. I would like Mistral, Davina, Eden, and Yip. I want you all to roll me perception checks.
Will do,
Alright.
sir.
-1 modifier.
I got a 6.
Damn it.
Oh no.
You had to say something, didn't you, Jordan?
What did you roll, Eden?
I rolled a 2, so 1 technically.
I rolled a
I
5.
don't know shit.
Hey, Eden, can I borrow your dice jail? Because I also rolled a 2. So 5.
I also rolled a 2.
I got a 6.
So,
Oh my god.
I don't have enough.
How did you all fail a perception check in the middle of the religious
negative one.
section?
My perception is a negative 1.
I don't think we were praying hard enough.
All right, DM, how are you gonna write the story now?
Yeah, Evan, that was your plot device, and we just chuck that
Yeah,
shit.
we're trying to keep you on your toes.
Actually,
buddy.
you'll be happy to know I did have a plan for this.
Okay.
Because
Yeah.
I was gonna let you all find at least one book, but depending on how high you roll would determine how many books each of you would find. But because you all rolled that, all 4 of you just find 1 book each.
That's fine.
If you rolled like higher, like above 10, you would have each found like 3 or 4 books.
What kind of sociopath goes to a library and only gets 1 book?
I'm throwing Google Dice Roll into Dice Jail. Just the whole thing is going into Dice Jail.
Well, okay.
I
I
was
was
saying
going.
that I would probably like not even do that, and no, because I don't think she would. Never mind. I was gonna say Davina would sneak off and go into the poetry section, but got a job to do. So.
Oh, I just realized I forgot that D&D and Beyond that I can actually like roll the dice.
Yeah, there is a dice roller function now that's available to everyone who is a member of that site. So if you want to try something different,
Oh,
there-
that's what that is.
yeah, I showed that to you
Great.
yesterday.
I thought that was
So that means I
phone.
can.
I did.
So that means I can throw Google Dice into Dice Jail.
Yes, you can.
Dice jail.
I gotta buy a dice jail. I love those things. All right,
There's
so you,
Brian, it's so cute.
so you each find 1 book pertaining to society's pantheon. Now I would like each of you to roll another perception check.
Okay.
Well, actually, no, wait, no,
We
not
live in a
perception.
society.
Not perception. Let me take a look here.
Insight.
I would
Quick
like.
shot of Evan's desktop on the Twitch stream if you missed that.
Yeah, weird things happen. Okay.
Wait,
All right.
dice
Here's
jail for
what we're
you.
gonna do.
You're going under the bed.
So yeah, once again, I would like each of you to roll another perception checks because the first one was finding the books. The second one is
Oh my god! Yeah!
What is it?
I got a nat 20!
Oh, our first donation from Yip.
You read the shit out of that book.
You made that book your bitch. That book owes you money.
Front to back, bitch.
So I rolled a 16. However, I'm at a -1, so it's a 15.
You still succeed.
Yay!
Mistral and Yip, what did you guys roll?
You rolled 1 again, or a 2?
Just okay. You rolled a
11.
2 to find
11,
a book.
okay.
Now now you're rolling it to see if you're able to actually read the book.
No, we rolled an 11. I'm sorry.
Oh, you rolled an 11. Okay, you still succeed. Mistral, what
Sorry,
did you roll?
I thought we were doing like 1 and 1. I'm like, what the?
Yip, what did you roll?
11.
11. And Mistral, what about you?
I'm sorry, because when you started asking us what to roll for, you cut out on my end. What are we rolling for?
Another perception
Like-
check to see if you're even able
Okay.
to read the book.
I rolled a 16.
All right, so
D&D
awesome.
and Beyond is going
You
into Dice
all-
Jail.
All right, so you all.
Wayne's World reference. I never learned how to read. Sorry.
never thought we'd have so much trouble in
I
this.
rolled a 1. Surprise, Davina's illiterate.
Oh man. Okay, so in all of your collective research, you were actually able to garner some more info about the Pantheon itself. And this is actually good because I had to do a little bit of retcons here. Not majorly, but I made some of the gods goddesses.
Calm down, J.K. Rowling.
Oh my god.
No. I made some gods goddesses. I'm not making the gods gay or anything.
No, she's even.
I'm
giving-
Oh right, J.K. Rowling's even worse nowadays. Something recent.
Yeah.
It was like throughout the book, there were some hints. So I mean, that's not really retcon. That's
Okay,
just like
tangent.
Yeah, we're not. This isn't a Harry Potter podcast.
Sorry.
All right, so you start to garner some more information about the Pantheon itself. As you know, you have Nord, the god of order, Crom, the god of steel, Varus, the god of war, Eva, the goddess of peace, Taurus, the god of commerce, and Manisa, the goddess of travel. But because you actually rolled a little bit higher in your rolls, you actually do seem to get a little bit more information about how these gods work in their various domains. Nord, obviously, being the god of order, he's basically the one who represents law and stability, and he's represented as the pillar that holds civilization itself.
He's the one that we really pissed off the priests that.
Yeah, that church was dedicated to Nord himself.
Yeah.
And I
Yeah.
swear, Yip, if you say anything about NordVPN, I am giving you 3 disadvantages on your next rolls. There is Crom, the god of steel. He goes hand in hand with Varus, the god of war, because he represents... He is the more wildly well-regarded god when it comes to actual warriors and hunters. Some might say he's like the unofficial patron deity of the Greyblades themselves. Because if we did not have Crom, we would not have our steel to make our weapons so that we can conquer our environment.
We wouldn't have the skill to make our
Now-
blades.
Yeah. Now, yep, if there's a god named Express, then you can make another joke.
I used to work for them.
Yeah.
Then there's Varus, the god of war. He oversees all combat, no matter the situation, being it like open warfare in the middle of the field, down to just honorable one-on-one non-lethal duels. If a fight is going down, you can pretty much be rest assured that Varus is watching from on high. And he's basically the god that makes sure that not only a fight finishes when it ends, but that it is honorable in some way. If there is any kind of dishonorable combat, it displeases Varus.
Next question.
Yes, Eden.
So in that case, any fight like that we've done, he's been watching very closely then.
According to the book, that's what the book says. Whenever there's been any kind of combat, Varus has been present, more or less. You don't know if that's metaphorical or literal here.
Hold on. Are these actual gods from D&D lore, or I thought you made these up?
I did make these up. I homebrew everything here.
Oh, okay. All right.
Okay.
When you said the book, I got confused. Like the actual
the book that your characters are reading right now.
Okay.
Then there's Eva, the goddess of peace, and the book describes her as basically this long, like, beautiful fair maiden in a white gown wearing like a gold chain with an orb around it, and she is Varus's wife in the Pantheon. Eva is the one who is present when there is reconciliation, when there is people who actually choose to have diplomacy instead of combat. You're not there, Polo. You can't react to any of this.
I know! That's why I'm kind of upset that nobody else noticed that!
There is Taurus, the god of commerce. And Taurus, as depicted, is like almost sort of kind of like a trickster satyr god, and he's always depicted like having like money bags in his hands, and he's got like a black top hat. He's what you get if you basically made the Monopoly guy a satyr. And
I'm so sorry. I just need to point out that when Liam like did this, it looked like he was gonna start drumming the sickest drum solo ever.
Toras.
I'm so sorry to interrupt you. I just couldn't stop laughing at it.
Let's see. Toras, being the god of commerce, Toras is known as like the trickster god who oversees all money changes and like any kind of he's the god of the economy. He's basically the god of the economy. So whenever you see people who are saying like we need to sacrifice our elderly for the economy, they're like blatant worshippers of Toras. Yeah, I went there.
Spicy.
More money.
They're the people that when there's a global pandemic, completely unrelated to real life events, when there's a global pandemic, they worry about the economy.
Yeah, for some reason they worship Taurus a lot more than, I don't know, maybe Eva.
They are called the Sims of Torath.
And then finally, the final god of the pantheon is Manisa, the goddess of travel. Like, as has already been explained before, airship travel is the main mode of any kind of transportation that happens within civilization in this continent. And any kind of pilot with their salt always has, like, a tiny little statue of Manisa, like, on their airship. And to have that little charm on their ship basically means that Manisa's gonna be guiding you through thick and thin and will always make sure that you get to your destination without any problems. And you do know that these gods, they've been around since recorded history, ever since society became a thing in this continent. It was through a collective effort that that all these gods and goddesses created the mortal races, because they wanted to prove to themselves that they were worthy of the mortals' praise. And it was after the creation of the world and such that they felt that they finally had almost a symbiotic relationship between God and mortal. Basically, the mortals would give worship and tribute to the pantheon, and in exchange, the pantheon would actually be granting real-world practical boons to the mortals and such. Like, if it weren't for Nord, we would not even have the concept of law in society. If it were not for Crom, we would never know how to fight. If it were not for Varus, we would never know when to fight. If it were not for Eva, we would never know when to talk our problems out. We would never have speech. If it were not for Toras, we would never know interaction with each other. We would never learn about trade. And if it were not for Manisa, we would never know connection with each other, how to actually interact with people over long distances. So, according to all these books and such, the gods have had a very positive impact on the mortal races, which then makes it quite strange as to why your one interaction with the Church of Nord and possibly Nord himself, that makes it even stranger how they all were initially acting very hostile towards you.
Mm-hmm. Can I try something?
What do you want to do?
I kind of talk to the bag because I'm assuming that we're still hiding the orb in the bag, correct?
Yep.
Yes.
Yep.
I just say to it, what do you think we should do now?
Steal all the books.
Oh shit!
I want
Burn down the library.
Burn the library down!
No, don't do that. That already happened once.
Burn the house down. Burn it all.
There's a little bit of silence, and then all four of you just kind of hear echoing just faintly in the back of your heads. Crap, I lost my train of thought. That's not what he says. That's not what he says.
Kick Give me a minute.
Give me a minute.
I'm having a brain fart.
The gods need a second.
It's some man behind the curtain, like, operating everything.
No!
It's Jim Henson who's operating the orb.
Oh.
May he rest in peace. If the little newborn god had like a body and a face or something, it would be like perched on your shoulder looking at the book itself as well. And you just kind of feel it shudder a bit. Not in total fear, but just in slight nervousness, and you just hear, Nord is scary.
That he is, buddy. That he is. Yeah, he is.
At this time, though, your library attendant walks up to you. He has his hands in like his.
Subtle about it.
No, he doesn't notice anything. He was like looking at the aisles, like not even looking at you, making sure everything was properly ordered. He walks up to you and goes like, "Oh, I seen you found some selections. Do you need some notes transcribed?"
I'm confused. They can all read that, right?
They can all read these books. These books are open to everyone for just free reading and such, and you're allowed to copy notes from the book. You're just not allowed to actually take books out of the library.
Okay, that's what you meant by
What do you
transcribe.
think we are? Some sort of
Like,
library?
I mean, what? Nothing.
So, like, he asks you, like, do you want some notes transcribed?
Can you summarize this entire book?
He kind of looks at the book.
We have a Spark Notes selection if you'd like to look at that.
Yeah, he's basically going to like rapid write a whole Sparks Notes packet for you guys.
Nice.
Oh, fabulous.
Please, Michelle, please tell me you were stoned as hell saying that too.
Uh-oh, I think Mistral's a little frozen here.
Oh, she's
There
fine.
you go.
No, she's fine.
Actually, she's frozen for me.
I have also really bad internet, so I wouldn't be surprised.
If
Okay.
it makes things a little bit easier, you can turn off your webcam. As long as we can still hear you, you're good.
Yeah.
But I like to see myself.
I get that. All right, so your attendant kind of looks at the book section and he just goes like, "This one?"
Yes.
Mine as well, please.
And he kind of gives you a little bow, takes your book. All right, so 2 sections from 2 books. That's gonna roughly take about half an hour. But I should be ready for you. They should be ready for you within half hour's time. Feel free to peruse some more while I get these ready for you. And he just kind of walks off with those books.
So,
Guys, now's our time. We can steal books. I mean, what? Nothing. I didn't say.
Can I do a perception check to see if I find anything like that would be useful or teach us anything about what we might? I don't know. Whatever's
you
going
gotta
on
give me
with
more
the
context than
owlbear
this.
dude. What?
You gotta give me more context than that. Like,
Anything that's going on with the owlbear of God thing.
you can make a perception check if you want.
God's not living orbs
You can make a perception check or not.
already. 20. Oh shit, that one doesn't count because it just jumped out of my box. Got an 11.
You find nothing.
I figured.
But then again, there are a lot of books, and you are easily going to get disoriented as you keep looking up and down these aisles.
I just look at the group and I say, I'm gonna go and check out the poetry section, and I just walk away.
Okay. We're going to take the camera from you guys, and now we're going to be focusing on Polo here.
I think Eden had something she wanted to do.
Oh, sorry. Rewind. Eden, you had something?
yeah, I was gonna say, can I kind of do the exact same thing, but like, kind of have the orb guide me? Like, if he gives off any like, hey, here's a hint of you need to look here.
Okay, you can certainly try. Whichever you have higher, Perception or Arcana, roll the highest of those two.
Probably
Hope you have
Arcana.
better luck than
+0.
I'm sorry?
It's a +0 for Arcana because the other one's -1.
Okay, well, Arcana's still higher than Perception, so you know what? Roll for Arcana.
17.
All right. You got like one. You situated your bag a bit, and you kind of stuck your hand in it to touch the orb with one hand, and you're just kind of like guiding your hand across the spines of the books with your other hand. You're feeling, and you have complete confidence in this because not only are you looking, but the orb is like subliminally guiding you. Wow, I butchered that word. It is subtly guiding you.
Yeah.
You are very confident that there is no material about any other, like, god or goddess or anything here. It is just this pantheon.
Okay. So that means we're gonna need to look somewhere else then.
All right. So now finally we're going to take the camera off you guys and we're going to move it on to Polo. Polo, if I recall, you were still hanging out at the mayor's manor, correct?
Yes, I was.
All right. Are you going to be doing anything? That you're kind of left to your own devices here.
I kind of wanted to go look at the animals again.
You want to look at the animals again? All right, not a problem. Now,
You want to go to the animals, buddy?
this actually kind of works out because I have visual aids set up for everyone here. Wait, did I already show you the pictures?
Yes.
Yes, you did.
Okay.
And that's okay.
We already showed the pictures. All right.
Still
So,
love you, Evan.
all right. So you walk out to the courtyard of the manor. There's some gardeners and guards kind of milling about doing their own thing. They're all giving you like polite bows and waves and such because by now they know that you are Baron Edmund's like special guest and you are to be treated with respect because you and your team were personally handpicked by him to be extra security for the banquet the next day. So they're all respecting you, but they're also giving you a wide berth because these people know how good the Greyblades are.
Social distancing. Yeah,
Social distancing. Yeah, social distancing.
He's got the
Speaking of which, the coronavirus.
This episode is brought to you by
Speaking of
coronavirus.
social distancing.
All right, so you make it to the back section of the courtyard, and those cages are still there with, like, 4 guards for each cage, just spears at the ready in case any of the beasts try something. These beasts, since you saw them last time, they have not lost any stamina. They are still, like, bashing themselves up against the cages, doing what they can to try to get out. These cages are massive, and the bars are thick. Yeah, I knew.
THICCC.
Oh, so many C's to that.
You beat me by 1 second.
These beasts are no less rabid and savage, and they have not lost any energy. With you walking up to them, they seem to kind of acknowledge your presence, and then they go back to try to busting through the cages futilely. Again, the only one that seems to really catch your eye is the cage of the Displacer Beast, because whereas the other 3 are in, like, heavy iron cages, the Displacer Beast's cage looks like it's made out of some kind of crystal glass material that seems to keep it from just warping out of the cage, because as you know, Displacer Beasts have an innate ability to teleport over short distances.
Okay.
But somehow the cage must be enchanted in some way to actually keep the Displacer Beast from escaping. But other than that, its behavior is just like the other 3 creatures, where they're just trying to burst through the cages no matter what, and they show no signs of exhaustion in any way.
Can I attempt to calm down the Displacer Beast with an animal?
With a what?
Animal handling.
You can certainly try. What is your animal handling?
+5.
Wow. Okay. You're certainly more than welcome to.
Yeah, that's why I've been wanting to use my animal handling tribute. Like.
Yeah. Go ahead and give it a shot.
All right. 24.
24. That is actually very good. As you approach the beast, and you're basically trying to crocodile hunter the Displacer Beast as you approach it.
Boy.
Oh man, this displacer beast's a real beauty. But one bite from those fangs or one whack from its tentacle can easily whack an arm off. I'm gonna walk up and touch it.
Carly, you okay?
We'll poke it.
I'm gonna poke it with a stick.
It's a cat. Okay, I'm so
Yeah.
sorry.
All right, so
If
the
he brings out a fucking cat, I lose my shit.
all right, so the displacer
And
beast.
Kira, too.
The displacer beast, like, as soon as you actually walk up a little closer past the guards, and the guards are like looking at you like, what the hell, man? The displacer beast just kind of stops moving, and its eyes are on you, and it is staring at you with the same pure white eyes that the other beasts have. And even though its fur is pitch black, you can see which is strangely like an even darker black of like the tar tear stains coming out of its eyes. And it just kind of stops moving for a moment, and it's just staring at you. And because you rolled a 24 in your animal handling, I mean, it's no 26.
Right.
But because you rolled a 24, you are now just getting the sense that this beast isn't just like savage and rabid. There is actual hatred. Like, there's an actual contempt behind this beast's eyes. And it doesn't want to kill you for food or for protecting its territory or anything. It wants to kill you because it loathes you.
What did I do?
Polo.
Yeah.
It's you between all four cages, and it's the John Travolta gif just going like...
Yeah. Oh, I get it. I called it a Deltazine. Got it. Yeah. You kids watching get that reference? All right.
Probably not.
Yeah.
All right, so you know that you are hated by basically animal life here. Are you gonna do anything else? Because you're just by yourself here.
Well, that's curious. Why it would hate me? Can I talk to one of the guards? I want to look at one of the guards, like for the what's this thing called again? I always forget.
The monster?
Yeah.
Displacer beast.
Displacer beast. Okay. I look to one of the guards and say, "How long have you had this thing?"
One of the guard, two of the guards just kind of look at each other. One nods to the other, and the one who is nodded at kind of relaxes his posture, and he goes like, "We've been holding these beasts for about 3 days now. They've been like this the whole time. We've tried to like feed them with like huge portions of like pork and beef and such, and they do eat, but they don't sleep, and they just show no signs that they want to do anything else aside from trying to get out of these cages here."
Do you know who gave the mayor these things? Were they all given by the same person, or did they come from different hunters?
Okay, so you remember. So actually, I'm gonna put the pause on here. You should remember that the mayor told you that these creatures were acquired from like the Baron's like personal hunters. Like he caught these things from the wild. They were not gifts.
Let me rephrase the question then. Do you know where I could find the mayor's?
Say that again?
Do you know where I could find the mayor's hunters?
The guard kind of thinks for a moment, and he just kind of looks up at you, and he just goes like, "Well, yeah, they should be all staying at the... At least, like, one of them should be still staying at the inn. The others went back to their hometowns and such, but there should be one that lives here in Lunas at the inn."
Okay.
I'm sorry, can I ask a question? You saying mayor or baron?
Baron.
Okay, I apologize. I got
Mary.
confused. I thought you said mayor, and I was like, wait, did we add a new character that I don't remember?
All right, then I think I want to go to the...
You want to go to the inn?
Yeah.
All right, so for time... Oh, Kitty!
I don't think I need backup for the inn. I think I'll be okay. I'm not going there to fight anybody, so...
All right, so for time skip's sakes, we'll just say you go to the inn.
Shoom.
Yeah, shoom!
I'm here! Alright.
The inn itself is... It's not like any inn from, like, any other, like, medieval-style city. This inn is pretty, like, upscale. Like, they have concierges, the The attendants actually seem to wear like some versions of like tuxes and such. Like this place looks very French. In fact, as you enter, this one tall elf, slicked black hair and a small little pinstripe mustache, just kind of walks up to you and goes like, "And how can we help you out, fair hunter?"
I'm actually looking. I'm trying to understand your accent first. I'm actually looking for another hunter who might be staying here. I don't know the name of it, but perhaps you could help me, but not necessarily the room, but do you know the name of the hunter by any chance?
We have quite a lot of hunters that stay here. Tell me, is there something specific about this hunter? Like, did they wear something? Did they do something?
They actually are under the service of the Baron. Does that narrow it down by any chance?
Baron Edmund?
Yes.
Oh, one moment. I know who you're talking about. He is still happily here, actually, for a moment. And the guy just kind of walks off his arms like this for a moment.
What is it with you and the French, man?
It takes about like a good 10 minutes before now walking down the hallway is this large muscled grizzled man, scar over his eye. He kind of looks like what's that actor's name? I can't remember. Something Lang. He was the villain in James Cameron's Avatar.
Oh, Stephen Lang.
Stephen Lang, thank you. He looks like him. And you just see this guy just kind of walk up in all heavy leather, studded leather garb. He's got 2 axes slinged on his back. And you actually do notice that he too also has a gray blade badge, just like yours.
Interesting.
And he walks up to you and he just goes like, "Huh, fellow hunter, what can I help you with today?"
Yeah, sorry to bother you, but I was informed that you helped the Baron capture some of the animals that he's putting on display. I was wondering if I could ask you about that.
At the moment you mention the animals, he just kind of stiffens up a little bit, and his eyes just kind of go downcast. He just kind of shakes his head, rubs his eyes for a moment, and goes like, "Ah, jeez. If it weren't for the exorbitant amount of gold that guy was paying me and my team, I would have said no to trying to capture those things. Killing them is one thing. Capturing them is something else entirely."
I can imagine.
What do you want to know about him?
Well, first simple question, where did you find the ones that you captured? Actually, first question, which ones did you capture?
My team actually helped capture, let's see, the Gorgon and the Displacer Beast. The other 2 creatures that I heard he got actually came from other hunters that he hired across the sea, actually. I mean, across the sea, still the same continent, but going by sea up north is a little bit faster.
I don't need directions, but thank you.
That was me DM talking, not okay. Talking.
Okay.
And he just kind of goes for a moment. That Gorgon, that one we found inside of a cave. It was the moment he saw us. It was like the whole thing changed. Like when he didn't see us, it was acting like a normal Gorgon. But then the moment it saw us, it instantly turned savage.
Did anything happen to it? Like anything change physically?
Not that I can know of. Just those weird white eyes and those what looks like it's crying tar or something like that. Typically, Gorgons look like they don't even have eyes. It's just black sockets.
But it was doing that before you found it.
No, when we found it, it was just kind of resting inside of its cave, like any normal Gorgon when you go hunting for one. And normally, Gorgons, or rather any creature, they act in self-defense when you intrude on its home. But this one...
Okay, but its eyes began to glow and it began to cry that when it saw you.
No, the moment we saw it, its eyes were always like that.
Oh, alright. Same for the Displacer Beast.
Same for the Displacer Beast. The Displacer Beast was That one we happened upon by just pure luck. Because that thing actually tried to attack us while we were coming back with the Gorgon.
Where were you specifically?
Let's see. We were kind of in a forested region of quite a few miles up north, close to the mountains.
All right. Were there any other creatures like it that might have been congregating in?
Aside from the other smaller wildlife, which were also just as hostile. But the Gorgon was the prize. The displacer piece was just gravy.
Interesting. Did you tell any of the Grey Blades about this?
I mean, well, yeah, we had to make our report. I'm sure one of my team members who actually lives in Acheron was the one who delivered the report, so I'm sure the headquarters knows everything by now.
That's interesting. Curious.
What else did you want to know about these things?
All right. One last question.
What's up?
What does the Baron plan to do after he shows these things off?
Honestly, your guess is as good as mine, because to be quite frank, he never even told us. Like, there's some rumors going around. Like, he's gonna try and actually re-release the creatures for hunting and sport and such. Some people say he's got a friend who's got, like, a zoo somewhere. Of course, who would keep a zoo of these things, right?
Indeed.
I don't know. The moment we captured those creatures and we got paid, the contract was up. I just wanted to forget about that entire thing.
All right. Well, thank you for your time anyway.
Hey, anything to help out another Grey Blade.
Yeah, go Grey Blades. Anyway.
And he just kind of walks back down the hallway back to his room. And now finally, we're going to move the camera over to Atarax, last and certainly not least. Okay, so Atarax, you're walking downtown in the city. In your case, you're actually walking the opposite direction of the party when they went to the library and such. As you walk around the city, you do notice, Atarax, give me a perception check.
Absolutely.
mouse.
Nope. 17.
17. Okay. As you walk around the city, you actually begin to notice a bit of a pattern with all of the buildings that you see. Every entranceway of these buildings, in some form or another, be they just housing for the upper class or storefronts or anything of the like, there seems to be some kind of little statue or charm or symbol, and they all seem to depict a satyr with a top hat holding bags of money.
Now, I would recognize this. I assume that would be Taras.
Yes, you do recognize these images as Taurus, the god of commerce in all of society. He seems to be the more dominant deity in Lunas.
Really?
Well, I'm glad to see gods are still popular somewhere. And I just keep trudging down the street, looking around. Is there like a more like a religious district per se, or like would I see any?
As you walk around, you do see like an actual temple of the city, and this one is like pretty blunt that it worships Taurus. But other than that, there don't seem to be any other religious related buildings here. Just the one temple.
Mm. Am I heading towards the the shore port area, or am I heading like kind of?
You are getting somewhat closer to the walls of the city itself, so you're getting close to the edge.
I'm going to look around on like some of the walls of the city and see if I can find some like rubble or like some moderate sized stones. Because if I don't see a shrine or temple to Ishtar, I'll just build a little one out of stone myself.
Okay, you know what? Yeah, you actually do see that there's just piles of stone and rumble just from like not just misuse but from some like very slight disrepair, and they just haven't had the time to clean that up yet. The roads themselves are like very clean of any kind of clutter or debris and whatnot. So you do see that closer to like the wall itself, like right up at the wall, that is freaking adorable. You do see like rocks and stones and large thick sticks and such, but that is pretty much all you see here.
Then probably off the road, definitely a ways back. In like maybe like a grassy clearing that's like kind of like in front of the wall, perhaps.
Mm-hmm.
I'd like to build I'll build a small shrine to Ishtar. It doesn't be big, like maybe like 1-2 feet tall at most. Just like stack some stones and create a religious symbol out of like whatever nature, living esque things I could utilize, like sticks, leaves, whatnot.
All right, not a problem. I would like you to give me a... Let's see here. I really can't think of any other way how this would work. So, Atarax, I would like you to give me a performance check. Because I don't know what other skill to attribute to building a tiny shrine.
Religion, maybe? Yeah.
Actually, you know what? Yeah, let's go with religion.
That's a lot better than my performance. 12.
It's a little shambly, but you were able to actually create a small, stable little shrine devoted to Ishtar. Like, it's a tiny little thing here, and why does my music keep stopping? Oh, there we go. It's a tiny little thing. It's got like tiny little pillars made of stone. You were able to create a tiny little roof with sticks and twigs and such. And inside the tiny little temple here, you have a rock that you carved and painted Ishtar's little holy symbol in, and that's where you just kind of place it there.
Aww.
It's very makeshift. It is not pretty at all, but it's something.
Functional
I feel like the audience finds it absolutely adorable and fantastic, by the way.
Yeah, possibly.
My little squirrels, I can put the cloaks on them, they can go pray in there.
Yeah.
Aiden, I'm really sorry. I know I said that you were best boy, but I think that title now belongs to Adarax.
Okay, so Atarax, you built a temple. You're gonna do anything else?
I definitely wanted to bless some water, but out of the game researching that, it says I need 25 gold pieces worth of powdered silver, I believe.
Yeah, if you're going to try and create holy water, you are going to need all of those materials and such. You can still, like, offer up prayers and such, if you need to.
I'll definitely pray. I know one of my spells requires holy water. Is that something I could, like, do the shrines or churches sell holy water?
You can definitely see if they do.
Well, after I'm done praying and, supplicating to Ishtar, I'll...
Make a religion check.
Absolutely. 16.
All right, so you offer your tiny little modest tribute, and you do say some good words and such. Nothing happens for a moment, but then you just kind of feel faintly, like almost emanating from your hands, this very faint, gentle warmth. You don't, that's it.
I kind of just take my hands, give myself a little hug like this, let the warmth sink in, because I'm snowy, cold dragon man. I like the feeling. And then I'll look up, nod, and then probably head to the temple church shrine of Taras next.
All right, so you walk into the church itself, and it is beautiful in here. Like, everything's like very beautifully carved, the most pristine, shiny marble and gold and such. It's basically like a mega church in here. Because you can pretty much tell, you don't even need to roll for this. You can tell, like, this is where a lot of the money goes. But it is structured like a church where there are pews, there's an altar at the front. At the front, you do see, like, a tall elven man wearing, like, a bright sky blue cloak, and he seems to be reading from a holy book. He hasn't noticed your presence yet.
I'll walk down the center aisle of the chapel, and I won't step up to the altar. You know, I don't want to interrupt his prayers or readings. I'll kind of just respectfully stand back, kind of see if he finishes up at any certain time. I don't want to interrupt or be loud. Just kind of.
All right, not a problem. He does actually notice you as you walk up, and he quickly like shuts the book and goes like, "Oh, how can we help you, my child?"
Good day, master. If I may have your name, good sir.
Nyson is my name. How can we help you out?
Nice to meet you. Sorry.
Good Master Nyson. First and foremost, let me say your temple to Toros is as gorgeous as the money that was spent on it.
Oh, thank you so much, my child. It warms my heart to hear those words.
And in due respect to your religion and commerce, I was curious if you had any blessed holy water I could procure from you for a price.
Nyson kind of thinks for a moment, and he actually does kind of give you a grin as he beckons you over up to the altar. And right next to the altar is this huge golden bowl on a pedestal. And there is what looks like bright, shimmering, blue, clear water in there. How much were you willing to partake, my child?
If you have it available, perhaps a flask worth, if possible.
All right, let me see here. How much gold did it cost for you to make your own holy water?
I think it's 25 gold pieces, and you get a vial. It said.
All right.
And it's an hour casting time as well.
Okay. Let's see. The Nyson kind of looks at you, kind of looks back at the holy water, and he just goes, "For a flask's worth, I would say 20 gold should suffice."
I open my coin purse, I count out 20 gold pieces, and I hand it over, and I'll say, in Toros's name, a pleasure doing business with you, sir.
A pleasure doing business with you as well, my son.
And
all right, so
I think that would be good.
So you now have 1 flask's worth of holy water. There you go. All right. It is now evening time. Pretty much everyone has gotten their business done. Are you guys going to do anything else, or are you going to go back to the manor?
It's a good time to take our break.
All right, now would be a good time for you to take your breaks. If you need to pee, collect some snacks and such, you are more than welcome to do so. Be sure to turn off your mic so we know that you're gone.
I mean, I just did that, but I don't mind getting up again. So.
All right, no problem. So everyone, take a break.
Bathroom break? Nope, you gotta edit.
I'm just looking at stuff.
Hey, you're moving.
Oh, alright, got it.
Bathroom break.
Beverage break. I want to drink, but there's nothing to drink.
Beer.
Oh, no, I want to drink. Record righty butt?
I do. Thank you. I'm gonna apologize until later because you're being cute.
What the
But you're the ass, but. Oh, you dick!
How was that?
Hang on, don't unmute. You can put our camera back.
Why?
I'm gonna make a loud sound.
I don't know how to do that. Just
Camera. That one.
All right, so that's 2.
get there. I think I muted it.
It was you.
Whoops.
You unmuted it. You get poo.
All I did was hit the camera button.
And I put on pajama pants because I'm tired of wearing jeans.
Sorry for the loudness. I was emptying
How
my
dare
garbage.
you?
Sorry.
And Kiara, it's not like I'm probably the loudest one here, so I think you're fine.
Oh, hon, you have yet to really like hang out with me for like a full convention yet.
You have to. You should.
I know. Well, that was the plan for Asa, and yet, you know.
I'm getting mad shit for you changing your best boy decision, though.
You guys are both best boys.
What was the
You
plan
picked
for
the wrong
Asa?
person to have the competition between.
I'm sorry.
I mean, I already know who's going to be my best person because someone knows how to like play with my feelings because they're poo.
He's so pure, like in both color and in spirit. So
I know.
What happened to Yip?
Leah has already made the worst character for me
Yip
as
is
a person
gone.
because she's gonna be a butt.
Hey, Yip is gone.
I know, I saw that too. I was like, oh no.
Oh no. You eating cake?
It's my dad's birthday today.
Oh, tell your dad happy birthday.
I'll do.
Everyone about to eat the cake. Why aren't you
I
drinking?
think a cootie catcher.
No, I drank that one.
Okay. You don't say that.
Special plans for this for TikTok.
I remember those. Oh my god.
We're gonna turn this into a Demogorgon puppet.
What?
I
Arr.
love it.
I remember those. Why am I being patted?
You're good.
By the way, Leah, do you have an Instagram?
I
Yeah.
do.
What's your
I'm actually
Instagram?
following
Linda?
you. I believe on both my personal and my cosplay.
How much does a hipster weigh?
There
And
it is.
Instagram.
Why?
Whoops.
Okay, where is Yip? We kind of need Yip.
We kind of need our burb.
We need the burb.
Burb, where'd
Gibbers.
you go?
Oh my god.
Really?
I was in a message. Discord.
Gilligan!
Well, if we're still waiting, I think I need to go to the bathroom right now.
Oh, now you have to go.
That's what we were doing.
Timing.
It's a little more complicated, guys.
I'm sorry. I got.
As soon as you walked away, like as soon as he turned his camera off, Yip just like popped up at the bottom.
You again.
Where the hearts?
Hey, buddy.
You can't.
Oh, is it Gilligan there too?
Gilligan's on the floor.
Oh,
And
my
I left.
buddy.
Gilligan, oh, we'll come back.
Oh, hi, Moo.
Okay, Gilligan's the one that usually like distracts everyone. Moo doesn't do this all
They're
that
both
often.
terrible.
We do.
Anyways,
No.
if anybody was wondering, the cat that I brought in, his name was Gibbs. I don't know why I blanked on the name for a second. His name is Gibbs.
We're Gibby.
Gibby? Gibbs.
His full name is Leroy Jethro Gibbs.
Oh.
Leroy Jethro.
He's kitties.
So-
She just said he's kitties.
So
and
NCIS
ours was
then,
Kit.
pretty much.
Her name
Yes,
was-
you are correct.
We
NCIS.
got somebody who was a kitten. So my dad named her Kit, so we could easily
It's because
remember.
they have
And she's
matching
16, not
eyes.
15.
Yeah. Yeah.
That was a cat.
She's so fluffy. She's the floofiest.
He's-
Don't die though.
She's a very curious cat, but also gets scared very easily, and it also has
That sounds
really
like
long nails.
Gilligan.
No one other than these two have met Gilligan, but Gilligan is my scaredy boy.
Oh, Yip is here.
Hi.
Hi. I guess while I got out, so I'm back. Corn.
When's this party gonna start?
It will start when Liam gets back. And Sterling, where's our Sterling?
Mhm.
I go to
Do
bed.
you guys like my backdrop of this episode?
Love
Yes.
it. I miss the closet though.
Yeah, the closet is no longer. I can actually have a room. But this is my sister's room because you know how hilarious it would be if I did it from my actual room? Because there is no internet in that room. Like, I can barely watch YouTube videos.
Oh gosh.
And
God.
basically, this is all you would hear from me. It would be.
All right, so are we all ready?
Yep.
Everybody but Sterling.
There.
Yeah, where's Sterling?
Sterling.
He's
Sterling.
got hearts.
Maybe he had to take a poop.
Because as
Maybe.
the good book says, everybody poops.
The
Yes, we
squatty
do.
potty. That's what he needs.
Wow, Leo, wow.
That everybody does poop.
Oh, so I've been getting really into Magic again lately. And so I've gotten a lot more cards lately, and I've had to buy a new box to put them all in. So I'm going to be going through all my cards again tonight and resorting them. So that'll be fun to do after this. Honestly, I enjoy doing it, but also at the same time, I have a lot of cards.
Oh no.
What's a
Sterling.
black? Proficient.
Sterling.
Just send him a message.
Where you live.
Where you at, bro?
Where you at, bro?
If you don't come back, we're dox you.
You don't come back.
Oh no, we lost Eden.
What the fuck? Jordan, what'd you click?
How
it's on
dare
the
you? I'm not. Oh, there we go. I'm back in the center.
It's on
Thank
the
you.
mount.
It's my
I'm
time.
back to being the center of
This is
attention.
why we don't do this. We don't have mouse mices.
Mouse dishes.
No mices. No
No
bumps and
mices?
mices.
No bump.
Mooses?
Mixers.
Boxing.
No, Mazeus is out in the living room.
Oh, yeah, well. He's a crazy boy.
He is a crazy boy. He's a happy boy.
Sterling.
Darling.
Start, and then when he comes back, we can be like, "Oh my God, where the hell did you go?"
If he doesn't come back in 1 minute, he has to roll disadvantage on his next anything.
You would
No.
have
Death saving throw.
No,
Disadvantage.
I'm not that cruel, but we do need to get started here. But don't worry, nothing bad is gonna happen yet. All right. So for the sake
Yes.
so for the sake of plot, we're gonna jump ahead a little bit. You've all gone back to the manor and you've all had a nice long rest. So you've recovered any health and magic you might have used, none of which you used because you just did another shopping montage.
I would like to actually say something before we start. I kind of pictured Adirex's day out as Tales from Ba Sing Se, Uncle Iroh, but less sad.
Yeah, pretty much.
Oh.
That is pretty much what it is like. All right. So you all went back to the manor and you all had a nice long rest. It is now the next day. The sun has set. The party has just started to begin. There's a line of nobles at the front door, but they're not letting anyone in yet. Baron Edmund, hold on, let me actually get some music in here.
Jesus.
Carly, you look so uncomfortable. You're like, party.
So the Baron himself is walking around the hallways, checking the food, checking the guard placements and such. He walks up to you all. You're all just kind of collected at the bottom of the stairs, like, all right, it's almost showtime. All right. So here's how it's going to be. And we just lost Mistral again.
I just had a thought. What happened to the 3 people that we hired to be extra muscle?
Oh yeah,
That's a good question, actually.
Just watching the creatures. Just chilling and watching the creatures.
They're currently helping out while you guys are added security. They are part of the help now.
Okay.
Oh. Well.
I bet they love that.
Only for tonight, though. All right, so here's what's going to happen. We will soon, once we get everyone through the front doors, we will herd them all into the ballroom. There will be food, music, dancing, conversation. I would like you all to be stationed around the walls of the ballroom. Make sure you have your eyes on everyone. Make sure that you let each and every one of yourselves know if anyone seems to act a little suspiciously, and above all, keep me alive. And then he just kind of prances off.
I love your little.
Erica, what are you doing out of prison?
Charmed for a while. The help.
No,
that
Mr.
was
Peanut
hit by
Butter
charmed
references,
person.
please.
We see him in the maid's outfit.
Yeah, they're all in maids' outfits, too. All right.
Thank you, Kara.
With garters and everything.
So at this time...
Somehow they have cleavage.
So at this time, the sun has now officially set over the horizon. And that's when they start allowing the nobles in. And it's just like any noble party. They have a butler who's announcing all of the people coming in. You hear,
It's guaranteed 100% fun for this one person.
Yeah, you guys are literally trying to defend the 1% here.
Yeah, exactly.
Jeez.
1% of the 1%. Sorry.
The butler has every time the nobles kind of turn in their invitations, or they just kind of give their names because they did say this was somewhat open invite. The butler would then announce the names, and they're all generic nobles names. You've kind of heard them every once in a while. You do hear a couple names that do kind of strike a chord with you. One of them, as an example, someone you don't even know, he just kind of walks in by himself. He's got his arms on his suspenders, got a huge black mustache, and he's got this cocky grin as he looks around, and you just hear, announcing Sir Reginald Masterson Aberdeen Myers. And this one guy who kind of looks like he kind of looks like an old Wild West sheriff without his hat, like an old Western mayor. He just kind of goes like, "How you doing, little lady?" And then he just kind of walks on straight to the food. Then you hear...
This is becoming more and more Final Fantasy with every... Like, we're getting cowboys now and stuff, and it's like...
People...
yeah, well, maybe. You then hear...
So much inspiration.
May I present to you, Mr... Hold on.
Give me a second!
Crap. I
have a problem too! Sorry.
I had it right in front of... Oh, thank you.
I lost my train of thought.
Name of the dude, like,
Yeah, very much like... What?
Yeah, exactly.
Like, what's your name? The Human Spider. What? Human Spider?
Human
That name's
That's
not.
it. That sucks.
He was supposed to be Mysterio, damn it. May I present to you Mr. Callan Balmaris and his son, Navath Balmaris. And you see...
I am Memphis, Tennessee.
And you see, like, this father and son high elf duo. They both have, like, long Lucius Malfoy, like, blonde hair. And they just... Yeah, it's pretty much Draco and Lucius here. And they both... They got, like, the high-class strut right here. I mean, like, they stand tall. They don't even look at you. And then they just kind of walk down the hallway. They don't even notice anyone else's presence. They just beeline it straight to the ballroom. Another name... And then they announce another name. And then they announce another name here. May I present to you Her Royal Majesty from the Southern Territories, the Queen Naria. And you see this gorgeous-looking, like, woman with bright white hair, beautiful Cinderella-like gown. She seems to be, like, way more in tune with her surroundings. And she's, like, actually... She's actually not ignoring people. She's, like, actually saying hello to everyone. And,
What the hell is happening?
She gives a nod to your group, but she just kind of gives a weird look to the one person who seems to be hiding their face, but she just, like, walks on by. And as they
are you okay?
Are we getting into Mistral's backstory? Is that what's going on here?
Two at once?
Vina just looks at Mistral and just says, Mistral, are you okay?
I'm good. Don't worry about it. I'm just gonna, like, I'm looking back from back here, you know.
I'm having a bad trip. Don't worry about it.
All right. So with all of the nobles now finally, like, in the ballroom, all of you guys now take your positions around the perimeter. And it's pretty much exactly what you'd expect. Like, all of the nobles are just chatting amongst themselves. They have, like, finger foods everywhere. You got a band playing that's playing some very good classical...
I'm so sorry. I just have to ask, why is your room changing colors?
Oh, because I have lights set up.
Do you see the lights? The band that's at, like, the end of the ballroom itself is just busting riffs, like, classical or orchestra style. And appearing like almost to the lead of this party is this one boy that you see, very fair, almost pale white skin and equally even paler white hair. And this person is just, like, killing it on that flute. Wow, I went through all the pronouns here. I am so sorry.
It's like every pronoun.
And they are, it's almost somewhat like, Ron Burgundy doing the jazz flute scene in Anchorman, where they're just, like, they're going to town on that flute, and a couple of the nobles, like, closer to the band, they kind of stop what they're doing, and they're actually kind of watching this, and they're actually giving, like, some applause and such. Like, some of them are yelling encore and such.
I'm kind of a big deal.
All right, so what do you guys do?
I get out of this
Can I
fast pace
hide?
of emotion.
Hold on, Mister. What'd you say?
Can I hide? Can I leave?
Is there a reason?
Yeah.
I don't wanna sound like this is cruel irony, but you know you can tell us anything, right?
I want to leave.
I feel attacked.
I mean, my husband's here. I want to leave too. And my father-in-law. We have a job
Do you want-
to do.
I just
You
want to
wanna
leave
leave?
because I hate it here.
What do? I'm scared
I
of
have
what's gonna
no social
happen if
connection
we
to these
do.
people. I just hate them.
Yeah.
Can I just is there like a second floor where I can like scurry to like observe?
Atarax, that would have been the perfect time for you to come in and say, I like.
See, Atarax is like he was actually considering going and checking out the servants' entrance, and kind of
Yeah,
like
I'll come with you. Can I come with
like
you?
thinking back
to
on
the
the wall,
servants'
while
entrance?
people going out.
Yeah, so Adarix, you kind of go off on your own and you're going through all the different servants' rooms, like the kitchen and the back hallways and such. You see maids and butlers going back and forth, like getting drinks and cleaning supplies and extra cloths and such. Like they're working overtime right now. They all don't seem to really pay you any mind because they're too focused on their job right now.
Can I try to get everybody else, including Sterling's attendees? Can I get everybody else in a huddle to tell them what I learned from the hunt?
Yeah, you certainly can if you want. So you signal to everyone to just kind of like, hey, come here.
I met one of the
Can I just
hunters.
sit in the ground in the center of everyone?
Well, I assume you're going with Atarax, right? That's what I kind of assumed here.
Can I confirm that?
I mean, if you want to go, then go. I mean, it's your
Yeah.
character. Just go.
The more the
Right, I'm
merrier.
going
Except
to
more
the
than two.
servants' quarters.
So you now have a follower.
All right. Well, I basically, I tell them all. All right. I met one of the hunters who caught the dispersal beast today.
What do they have to say?
Well, I didn't get much information out of them, but one of the strangest things about what I heard was the fact that they didn't really see any other animals that had the curse in the way that we did when we.
No, they did.
They did?
Yeah, they did. Like every animal they saw had those eyes and black tear stains.
Okay.
But they actually had trouble against the Gorgon.
Right. And they didn't congregate anywhere like the spiders. That's the thing that kind of was strange to me. But
well, and I'm playing Sterling here.
yeah.
Maybe we just got lucky and we just happened to find the one spot where we found our new little friend, and he kind of looks over at the bag that is on Eden's shoulder still.
Something we haven't even thought about asking yet, and I don't know if the creature will know it, but is there more of its kind?
Oh.
You can ask. Okay.
Can I ask the orb that?
You can certainly try.
All right. Do I have to roll for anything?
No, because you're just talking to an orb.
You say that like.
Oh, of course. That's silly of me. So yeah, I go to the orb and I say, "Do you know if there are any more who are like you?"
The orb right now is just silent. It's not answering you, but you do get a funny feeling emanating from the orb that it is just distracted and overwhelmed by this entire ballroom scene.
Damn.
It's like a little kid. He just like, oh.
It seems to like you all more than it likes me, so to try.
I mean, I don't think that's the case, Polo. I think that it is. We do think. We're not for sure, We do think it's a young being.
Yeah, it seems the most likely.
At that moment, like while you guys are distracted by this orb talk, Davina, you suddenly feel a tug in your hand as you are basically forced onto the dance floor and dipped, and holding you in a waltz pose is Navarth. and he looks at you and goes like, "You didn't think I'd forget about you, did I?"
Can I like just keep very, very close watch on this the whole time?
Yeah, you certainly can. And Navarth just lived with his free hand for a moment. He just goes like, "I still have the last gift you gave me," and he like pulls back his hair, and you see like a burn scar over like the side of his face, Zuko style.
And then Davina just looks, and she gets her composure. Says, "Navarth, if I remember correctly, you gave me a lot of scars."
Now, bear in mind, during this whole time, you both are waltzing on the dance floor. Navarth.
All right.
Navarth just kind of smiles and chuckles for a moment as he dips you, and he just goes like, "A lot of things have happened, but I want to focus on now. For example," and he pulls you back up as you both start to twirl like, "Why are you and those other ruffians here here right now?"
I don't think that's any of your concern.
"Oh, but I think it's all of my concern. After all, it was you who interrupted my little venture back in Acheron."
You saw that, huh?
"Oh, sweetie, my dear, I see a lot of things that happen." Carly, I'm loving your face right now.
Like what?
Well, I can tell you that some of my sources tell me is that you're looking for something.
What else do these sources tell you?
You know, I can tell you more about our fair pantheon here.
I don't like where this is going.
I don't need your help, my dear.
Really? Because you seem like you really do need my help. I mean, you asked for a lot of notes back at the library.
That fucking snitch.
Again, you are both just waltzing perfectly, like in the...
This song has got to end at some time. Just saying.
Oh.
Yeah, this is Greatest Symphonies. It's 4 hours long.
It's lo-fi songs to study to. That's what they're waltzing.
Yes, yep.
So I can, yep. Okay. Here's what I want to do. I want to not actually like swoop in, but kind of like weave my way through the crowd and kind of like pull the "may I have this dance" and kind of squeeze in between them and.
God bless you, my friend.
Kind of squeeze in between them and lead her to the opposite end of the ballroom as him.
I was thinking of doing that, but it's much more in character.
Yeah, you certainly can do so. So you swoop in.
Acrobatics?
No, that's not what I'm gonna have you roll for.
Okay.
You swoop in, and you're easily able to weave through the crowd, and you end right up there, and you ask, "May I have this dance?" Navarre
You
just...
T-pose to assure dominance.
T-pose him! Double T-pose because you got wings!
Wings fall out.
Okay, so yep, roll me a persuasion check.
Oh boy. Hey, you wouldn't happen to know Sterling's divination numbers, would ya?
I do not. He did not tell me.
Wait,
How do
can I
hey,
give
wait.
Bardic inspiration?
What?
Can I give Bardic inspiration?
You're not there.
Yeah, and you would.
Can I give it spiritually?
It's not gonna work. You would have to give it to him before he left.
Yeah.
Okay. I tried to.
What did you
I
roll?
kind of
Can I-
sorry.
I did do it all.
Can I give him advantage? How do I know?
Not in this case.
No.
Okay.
Do we need
Alright.
this?
None of you can help him right now.
19.
Yeah!
Nice.
Okay, Navarth just kind of looks at you, kind of blinks, seeing an Arakakwa, like here, and just like.
Davina, hi, Jeff. Wonderful to see you.
And if anything, just
And
to keep up appearances, he graciously graciously lets go of Davina and gives a bow. But then he just kind of smirks back up at you and just goes, "I certainly hope to see you again." And then he just kind of walks back into the crowd out of sight.
Can I actually follow him, put my arm around him, and that's what you think?
Oh,
I don't know.
You can indeed, but as you do, he puts his arm around yours.
It's just breaking now.
Well, just.
Hold on. I just want to say, I think that Davina would just give Yip the biggest hug. And just say, thank you, you have no idea.
All right, so Navarth now has his arm around Polo's shoulders, and he just goes, "Listen, you don't know her as well as I do. I'll tell you this right now, she'll be the one to break up your team." At that moment, you hear a scream. Sterling, you're back.
I mean,
And
I was
we
gonna
lost
say.
Yip.
And Yip has disappeared.
I was gonna say in response. I was gonna say something like, "I know her well enough to know that we shouldn't trust you."
Spicy.
Okay, so
Evan, I'm gonna send you a message, okay?
Okay. For the sake of just kind of that moment, we'll back it up, and I'll let you say that statement, and then
Then the scream.
and then the scream. However, he just kind of glances over towards where the scream is coming from, which seems to be coming from like just outside the glass doors of the ballroom itself, and he just simply goes, "Well, then I guess we'll have to put that conviction to the test." And then he lets go of you. At that moment,
He does the hype walking away.
Someone typed that.
yeah, that's me. Sorry. Okay,
There's a baby.
Sterling, I sent you a response. All right. So with that scream, you suddenly see what looks like a bunch of guards running into the ballroom in a panic. And then at that moment, there is a massive sound of glass shattering as those four beasts that you saw have just burst through the glass walls, and they are just like whatever kind of noble guard servant, whatever they're getting their hands on, they are just grabbing or goring, tearing apart. This place is quickly becoming a massive bloodbath here.
Oh, piss.
It's the end of Parasite.
Which I still have yet to watch.
Fucking awesome, man.
Well,
I
Davina,
just
I
watched
feel
that
like
the
you
other
have to
night.
end
It
the
was
dance quickly.
insane. But Evan has not seen it yet, so no spoilers.
No
because I want
spoilers.
to get him
It's on my
genuine
list. I have
reaction.
Hulu. I will watch it.
It's only kind of the end of Parasite. I'll tell you that much.
Okay. So, all right. So those
your friend
beasts,
says-
they're just ransacking the party. People are screaming, trying to clamoring and getting away. The Otyug, which was the tentacled yellow beast, as well as the Bewlet, they just seem to go off in hallways following after the nobles and such. However, the Gorgon and the Displacer beast, they're staying in the ballroom, and their eyes lock on you wow, I can't count. Freaking roll initiative, guys.
It kind of looks at Davina and says, "I feel like we have to end the dance now."
Are Mistral and I
God
rolling
dang
initiative
it.
as well because we're off?
I think we're
in the
gonna
first
dance. Oh wait,
battle?
no. And then Davina just says, "I think we're gonna dance, but in a different way."
This is James Bond.
Those were $100 sunglasses, asshole.
Asshole.
I got a 9.
Hey, $500 sunglasses.
Gotcha. Hold on. No one tell me your numbers yet. I gotta roll for the
God, I'm
monsters.
sorry.
I think Mistral has a question.
I don't know what we're doing.
I mean, like, I feel like we would run back to the doorway when we heard the scream.
It depends how far away we were because
You were like you guys were like in roughly the middle of the ballroom. These beasts like burst through the far end. 2 of them ran past you chasing the nobles, but the Gorgon and the Displacer beast are now like going for you.
None of them can fly, right?
None of them can fly, no, but the Displacer beast can teleport.
Yeah.
Okay, well, I'm almost thinking... I'm thinking our first move should be to get the orb out of here.
That sounds like. Now this looks like a job
For me, yeah, exactly.
All right, now, yes, Mistral, what is it?
Oh, I was just holding up my initiative, which was a 5.
Oh, okay, so Mistral is 5.
I got a 9.
I got a 9 too, actually.
Okay, so Davina has a 9, and Polo has a 9. Atarax, what did you roll?
roll a hot 6.
A hot 6.
Ooh.
So proud of you.
All right, Eden, what did you roll?
I rolled a 7.
A 7. All right.
So far, 9's high.
Yeah, I know.
All right, Yip, what did you roll?
I mean, it's no 26, but it's a 23.
Holy shit, really?
Whoa, really?
19 on the die.
Reflex is like a fucking cat.
Yeah, I know. You were ready for that.
All right, Sterling, what do you roll?
I'm sorry, Yip.
Did you actually get a 26?
No, I got a 28. I got 19 on the dice, plus 9.
Oh my god! I got a 28!
Donating 26
19 plus 9.
All right, am I missing anyone?
Alert is the feat.
All right, am I missing anyone?
Good.
Okay, we're good. All right, first up in the initiative order, I think it goes without saying, is Sterling. So which one do you attack?
Alright, so excuse me, since I kind of came back late,
It's okay, you didn't really miss much of anything, just an encounter between Davina and Navarth.
And I just relayed what I learned from the hunter to you, so you kind of already know that anyway.
So,
And I see
you
the-
didn't miss much.
I see the Displacer Beast and the Gorgon in front of me.
Yes. Like, you guys are all kind of bunched up in a group, and it's those 2 beasts that are just directly facing you right now.
Okay.
Evan, can I ask you a question? What about the rest of the party goers?
They've
Are they still in the
evacuated.
ballroom?
They've evacuated.
Where's the bear?
Darn, I thought maybe Navarth would stay around and die.
You can
Like,
say that there's a
So, like,
panic at the
no
disco.
one is here.
Alright, so I am going to cast the spell Flock of Familiars. And I am going to get 3 hummingbirds. Mechanically, we had them as crows. Excuse me, I'm losing my voice. And as a bonus action, I'm going to kind of like try to stand in front of the group if possible. I'm not aware of the surroundings.
All right, not a problem. So
but
it's like it's
stand in front of the-
beasts. It's beasts, Sterling, and the rest of the group.
Yeah. And whenever I summon the Flock of Familiars, the 3 hummingbirds, as a bonus action, you can see my hand wave over one of them, and there's like a slight fire in its eyes as I cast Dragon's Breath on it, and it flies up into the air, and the audience gets to see a little puff of smoke come out of the hummingbird's mouth.
Aw. Some of the band members that are still there, they're the ones doing the background music for the scene, by the way. Especially that one guy with the flute. He's just going to town.
Gentlemen, it's been an honor playing with you.
There's one more thing, because I believe the Flock of Familiars work on my turn. The two that I did not cast the spell on are going to kind of hover behind me safely.
All right.
And then the other one is going to fly forward and kind of like be buzzing around it and shooting down fire at them.
All right.
Through the Dragon's Breath spell. One willing creature. I'm choosing fire. I can choose acid, cold, or fire or lightning. I'm gonna choose fire. And it does 3d6 points of damage. They have to make a dexterity saving throw of 15. Excuse me, 12.
Okay. Which beast are you attacking?
Both of them, if possible. It's a 15-foot cone.
Okay, so the Gorgon saves. He rolled an 18.
Okay, he's gonna take half damage.
All right. The Displacer Beast rolled a nat 1.
Yeah.
Nice.
Okay, so yeah, Displacer Beast gets a full face of flame right there, but it actually seems to piss him off a bit more than hurt him.
So we're looking at 13 on the bull, which is halved, so 6 points of damage on the bull.
All right, got that.
And then 10 points of damage on the Displacer Beast. These are fiery little hummingbirds.
All right, nice. Next up is Yip.
All right.
Yeah.
So I think I'm gonna do what it looks like my job is. I start flying and go over to Davina, or not Davina, Eden, and it's like orb.
Oh yeah. I guess a bonus action would be hand him the
I'm gonna
backpack.
use my interaction to take the orb.
Okay, so you take the orb. What are you gonna do with it?
I'm flying up.
Okay, I'm gonna warn you here. If you decide to do this and you fly up, you, Yip, are gonna be disengaging from combat and you're not gonna be able to participate in the fight. You're gonna be
I think as long as he has the orb, he can still fight. At least we know that the orb has a way of getting out of here.
Yeah.
That is very true. All right, so
I
Yip,
think
if you
that's gonna
decide...
be a risk I'm willing to take.
Okay, so Yip, you're gonna stick around, but now you are in possession of the orb. What do? You've already kind of spent your movement action going to Eden and taking the orb from her. So you can still attack, but then that's gonna be all you can do left.
Wait, so how far away are these beasts now? Because like
they're pretty close range. Like they're right up at you. These creatures don't really have any projectile weapons, so they're staying at melee.
Okay.
Now that's a good thing to know.
Well, I'm going to attack with my spear then, kind of reach around Sterling and trying to attack them with my spear from like a bit of a distance. I'm guessing around like 10 feet.
Okay, which one are you attacking?
I'm going to attack that Displacer Beast.
The Displacer Beast. All right, roll to attack.
That is a 14.
All right, you just make it, and you're actually able to spear like a nice chunk of flesh from its arm, and like any past monster you fought, just a black ooze instead of blood is seeping out of the wound. You are very lucky that you attacked it with your spear, because if that blood got on you, you would have possibly been victim to the enrage.
So that's going to be 8 damage.
8 damage. All right. So that Displacer Beast is not looking roughed up at all, but it's definitely angry. Yeah. All right.
And then as a bonus action,
you've already used your bonus action. That was taking the orb.
okay.
You
I
used
thought
your
that
move.
was been an interaction.
You used your movement to walk to Eden, and your bonus action to take the orb.
Okay.
So all you had left was your attack. So you're done.
Got it.
All right. Next up is the Gorgon. Now you see the Gorgon, this giant metal bull, actually start to rear up and take a deep breath, and then just pouring out of its mouth is this thick green gas. I need everyone here to make Constitution saving throws.
Hello?
I don't like that.
15 plus 2.
Hey, I did not hear you. You cut out completely.
You need to make a Constitution saving throw.
Oh, okay. I think I get it.
I got a 14.
Okay.
I got a 20.
I got 15.
I got a 12.
18.
Atarax got 19.
Sterling?
Excuse me, I got 17.
All right. All of you are able to quickly backstep away from the gas coming out of its mouth. Davina, on the other hand, wasn't so lucky, and you actually start to slowly get this feeling that's creeping up your legs of like this stiffening hardening. And as you look down, your boots and your legs themselves are slowly turning to stone.
Yes, don't like that.
Wait a minute.
Oh, Gorgon. Oh, I get it.
Wait a minute. Does I have it?
What are you looking for?
I think I might be immune to that. Have resistance to... Oh, no, never mind.
So you're resistant to radiant and necrotic. So.
Yeah, this is not any of those things. So so here's the thing, Davina, you are now officially restrained, so you can do no movement action because right now your legs are stone. And that being so now so that was the Gorgon's turn. So he's not going to attack. That whole stone breath was his action. Next up is Polo.
Okay. I feel like I should use my crossbow.
You're certainly welcome to. Roll to attack.
Now this hit DC +3. What does that mean? Do I add that to
Yes, you roll +3 to your attack roll.
Okay, and do I roll a
D20.
A D20, okay.
Whenever it's rolling to attack, it's always D20.
Okay. Hey, 23.
All right. Which one are you attacking?
Let's attack the Gorgon, since it seems to be the most problematic right now.
All right. Now, this beast looks like it's made of metal, but you were somehow able to stick a crossbow bolt in, like, the weak points, which is, like, the very tiny separations between what can only really be described as its plates, and you get it, like, just above the knee of its, like, right hind leg. And it just kind of like, and now its eyes are just on you. Next up is, okay, so next up is Davina. Now, Davina, before you can do anything, I need you to make another Constitution saving throw. I'm gonna tell you this right now. If you fail this throw, you will be completely turned to stone.
Oh, shit.
Okay, guys.
You got this.
No, I got 17!
All right, Davina, you are able to just, like, through sheer force of will, force your legs out of their stony prison, and you are not restrained anymore.
Yeah!
I will count that as just your bonus action. You can still move and attack.
Okay, well, that changes things. I am going to use... What animal is closest to me?
At this time, because everyone was able to back away, but you were not able to, you are pretty evenly distanced between either the Gorgon or the Displacer Beast. The Displacer Piece is looking just a... The Displacer Piece is looking just a little bit more hurt than the Gorgon.
I'm gonna try and hit the Gorgon with my great axe.
All right, so swing to attack.
Great axe! Sorry.
Got an 11 with my proficiency bonus.
That unfortunately does not work. You swing your axe, but the angle is awkward and it just kind of bounces off of its metal hide.
Okay.
All right, next up is Eden. What do you do?
Yep. Well, I'm gonna take out the longsword, and which one is looking more ouch?
The displacer beast.
Okay, we're gonna go for that one then. Come on. Hi.
It wasn't a 1.
No,
It was not a 1.
now what? A 1.
So you're plus 5, 8. Yeah,
8
I'm sorry, what?
with an 8 hit.
Fortunately, that does not work. The Gorgon is able to suddenly, like...
Displacer beast.
It's a displacer beast. So the moment you go for that swipe, you just see like a... Poosh, and the displace just suddenly blinks out of your vision and appears to the right of where your sword would have been.
Yeah, and since I used my bonus action, I can't draw the rapier. Right?
No.
Nightcrawler, bitch.
Yeah, you've already done that. All right,
Yep.
let's see. Next up is the displacer beast. Guess who's going to attack? The displacer beast. It veers its eyes at Eden, and then you just hear like a poosh, and it suddenly appears over here. Poosh, it appears over there. Poosh, it appears right in front of you, and then it's going to use a multi-attack with its 2 tentacles.
Oh.
Because it's got like 2 tendrils coming out of its back. Eden, what's your DC?
My armor class is a 13.
13. Okay. Okay, so the first one misses.
Sweet.
And that's the exact same roll. The second one misses. So you're able to like whoosh, whoosh.
Now who can teleport?
That thing.
Are we fighting only 2 animals right now?
You're fighting only 2 animals. The other 2 ran off.
Oh,
We'll
okay.
go after those 2 at some point.
All right, next up is
We're gonna see him again.
Next up is Atarax. What do you do?
So now you don't have to do that.
Yeah, I was actually gonna do that.
Okay.
I'm going to attack the Gorgon with a guiding bolt.
All right, not a problem. What is guiding bolt?
Actually,
No, hold that question. I'm looking it up myself. Is
That's
that
great. That's
Right
great.
now. So
okay.
it is a.
Is that a spell or a feature? Like, what am I looking at here?
It's a spell.
It's a first level spell. Essentially, I attack a beast within 120 feet of it, or I'm with 120 feet. It does 46 radiant damage, and the next attack made by anyone against that creature has advantage.
All right, awesome. So who are you gonna attack?
I will attack the Gorgon.
You will attack
with
the
guiding
Gorgon.
bolt.
Okay, you get the Gorgon. It's a spell, so that just automatically hits. So you're able to get it like right on the
No,
haunch
spell
of
attacks,
its
you
front
still
leg
roll the
right
hit.
here. What?
Spell attacks, you still roll the hit.
Oh, they
Yeah.
use skill roll? Never mind. You have to roll for it. Sorry.
So he accidentally rolled before.
No, it's fine.
Are you sure? Sure you want to reroll?
Yeah. Earlier when I did it, it was 19 to hit.
Yeah, that still hits. It gets like right in the front haunch of the right leg right there, and you actually blast off a piece of metal, and then again, just black ooze is just pouring and just going down its leg.
Oh yeah.
This creature's still not looking roughed up. It's still got plenty of fight left in it. All right, and lastly, it is Mistral. What are you gonna do?
Wait, what about the damage?
Yeah, it was 19 to hit.
Oh, I'm
It was,
sorry. I am so sorry. Yeah, roll damage.
Damage was 17 though. And then whoever attacks that creature next gets advantage on their attack roll.
Okay, so yeah, you definitely roughed up that Gorgon. Still bleeding ooze. Still not looking roughed up. It's still hanging in there. All right.
And then bonus action.
Hey, we got.
Oh, you
someone
got
who can do-
more.
For my bonus action, I just want to draw my sword and my shield, and then I'm good.
All right. Now it's Mistral's turn. What do you do?
Okay, I would like to pull out one of my spells.
Yeah.
That's queen.
I want to unleash vicious mockery.
Yell at them. Fine.
My favorite.
Which is, I will unleash a string of insults laced with a subtle enchantment at one of the creatures that I can see.
Okay, you see both of them. Which one do you want to mock?
The Displacer Beast.
Yeah, let's.
Mr. Teleporty.
The one on the right.
Okay, so the Displacer Beast.
Say to it. Yes. And so then, yeah.
Lizzie, what do you say to it?
Yeah, what do you say to it, Lizzie?
You're a bitch.
Stop being
Lizzie.
so rude. You're
Lizzie.
so mean, you big beast boy. You don't need to be here. Stop being so mean to everyone.
Big beast.
I just keep repeating that over and over.
Okay, so now it has to make a wisdom throw. It fails. The D beast kind of like, if it could look slightly confused, it would, as it just kind of tilts its head. Roll damage.
I got 7 damage.
All right, nice. All right, here we are. Top of the round. So first off is obviously Sterling.
Obviously, no. So for this turn, I'm going to bonus action. Okay.
So what are you gonna do?
Wait. Oh, gotcha. I am misunderstood. I say, I speak in Celestial, and I wave my hand over one of the other birds. And same idea, the hummingbird kind of like comes up and over me, and is just like looking around, and then spits a little fire, and then runs off. Both hummingbirds are bearing down on the displacer beast with fire, kind of focusing on him now.
All right.
But the displacer beast needs to make 2 reflex saves.
2 reflex saves. What's the DC on that?
That is DC 12.
DC 12. Okay, so that's a win. It succeeds. Second time. Okay, it fails the second one.
Okay, so for the first one, he takes half damage. That's 3d6 damage, just so you're aware.
All right.
11, 16, 16 and a half is 8, so 8 for the first one. And then full for the second one, which is 9 points of damage on the second one. So 17 altogether from the hummingbirds. And I'm gonna take a solid swing. I don't have 2 attacks because I used my bonus action.
Oh.
But I'm gonna take a swing at the displacer beast if he's close enough.
He is close enough.
Okay. So that is a fist, hopefully to the face. Let me see. That is. I'm sorry, since I leveled up, I'm not sure now. Oh, that's not what I'm reading. Oh, okay, +7. So 12 plus 7, 19.
All right, so you scorch like a whole side of its face with the fire, and then just to add salt to the wound, you punch that scorched side of its face.
And that is 6 points for that.
Yeah, that displacer beast is still kicking. It's looking a little rough now, but it is not showing any signs of slowing down. All right, next up is... Where'd I have that page? Next up is Yip.
So I'm flying up and away with the orb.
So you're flying away?
Well, kind of like up out of the range of like the Displacer Beast and Gorgon.
Okay, so the Gorgon definitely can't reach you. The Displacer Beast, on the other hand, it's still your turn. So here's what I want you to do. I want you to make a dexterity saving throw.
Now you're speaking my language.
Friggin' monks.
All right.
I kick ass for the Lord.
17.
17. All right. You hear as the Displacer Beast warps here. It warps there. And then all of a sudden, it appears mid-air behind you. But you are actually able to dodge right out of the way before one of its tentacles could actually get a swipe at you before it falls back to the floor.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, the Displacer Beast, this beast is actually kind of cunning. It knows how to get at you. Oh, all right. Next up is the Gorgon. The Gorgon, its eyes are going to go onto the closest person. And it's going to actually fall on Eden.
Of course.
And this creature, it's a bull. It starts like knocking its foot. It's like snorting, and it's gonna gore at you. And that is going to be, what's your DC?
13.
Wait a minute, Eden, aren't you red?
Okay, it's the movement technically that.
God, if this were a normal bull, he would have gotten advantage on his attack roll because you're red. I'm
like
but
close.
What's your DC again?
13.
13.
Very off red. It's more towards black.
He hits. He rolled an 18, and that's a +8, so he rolled 26.
Jesus.
He is able to actually get you with his horn, and you can actually feel it pierce your side, like just above your hip. And you.
Can I use
I'm sorry.
Hellish Rebuke? Can I use Hellish Rebuke as soon as he like backs off?
Isn't that something you have to like prepare beforehand before you get attacked?
No, it's a reaction.
As a reaction, yeah, you can certainly try.
Okay. Yeah, because it's an instant, and it's like one reaction, which takes in response being damaged by a creature within 60 feet of you that you can see.
All right.
So. Go ahead. Just tell me what the damage is right there, and then I'll do it.
Okay, so the Gorgon does, let me see here. Let's see, that's, so it rolled... Eden, you take, hold on, 28 points of damage.
Ooh, I'm at 16. Okay, so then I will use Hellish Rebuke.
All right.
And it takes 24 damage.
All right. That somehow, as soon as that horn gets in you, you are able to actually, like, a wave of red energy just emanates out of you, and you're able to actually push the monster back, and it, like, pulls the horn out of your wound. Yeah, I think it's safe to say you're kind of roughed up right now, but you're still in this fight. All right.
Oh, yeah.
All right, next up is Polo. What are you going to do?
Okay, do I still have the rope that they gave me?
Yes, you do.
Okay, can I do something interesting here? I want to tie a rope onto one of the arrows that I've got, and I want to try to shoot it at the legs of the Displacer Beast, try to wrap its legs.
Ooh.
My God, we're Empire Strikes backing it. Yeah, you know what? Go for it.
Okay. Am I still doing a crossbow +3 to my roll?
Yes.
Okay.
Here's what I would say. I would say you're gonna spend your bonus action tying the rope to your arrow.
Okay.
So you still have your normal attack and your movement.
Okay. All right. So, give me something. 6.
Yeah, unfortunately, your shot seems to aim true, but that beast just is able to warp out of the way of your arrow. It saw it coming a mile away. All right, After that is Davina. What are you gonna do?
I would like to rage.
Yeah.
How can you say that in the most adorable way possible?
Which monster looks the most hurt?
At this time, it would be the Gorgon.
I'm gonna go for the Gorgon, and I'm gonna try to once again hit it with my great axe.
All right, so you go up to him and you swing your axe.
You get advantage on the roll.
I got an 18.
Roll again. You might get a 20. You have advantage. Because you're raging.
Oh, I got 21.
Okay. You take your axe, and with a scream of bloody murder, you embed the axe right into the leg. But as you do, the moment that blade impacts, there's a splash of the black blood, and it gets on you. Davina, you are now you've gone from rage to enraged. So on your
Double
next
rage.
turn, you need to make a charisma saving throw. If you fail, you automatically have to attack one of your teammates.
I roll for damage though?
Yeah, you can still do that.
Evan's like, yeah, whatever, damage.
Okay, so I got +2, +3. I got 10 points of damage.
Okay, yeah, this Gorgon is looking quite roughed up, but it's not slowing down at all. But yeah, Davina,
I'm dead yet? Are you kidding?
it is not dead yet. Gorgons are tough and they're made of metal. Jeez. But yeah, you got blood on you. So on your next turn, charisma saving throw. All right. Next up is Eden. What do you do?
I'm gonna attack that freaking Gorgon again, because that was bullshit.
You're gonna attack the Gorgon? All right.
Yep.
It'd probably be easier to kill the squishier of the two, just so you guys know.
Or great. 19 plus 5 is what?
24. Do you crit at 19 or no?
I don't think so. It was a
Is that
24.
thing, Fabi?
I'm sorry?
To hit. 24 to hit.
Okay, yeah, you hit. Roll damage.
1d8.
Anyone want to? I'm not going to.
8. 10 damage.
I'm sorry, say that again?
Damage.
All right, not a problem. Hold on.
I think I already used my bonus action, remember, to do Hellish Rebuke. Oh, wait, did I use my bonus action because of Hellish Rebuke? Or no?
That's your reaction.
That's your reaction. That's different.
Well, then I'm going to take out the rapier then. And just, I'm done then.
Okay, so yeah, that Gorgon is still not looking like it's going down, but it's still getting rough. All right, next up is the... Wait, what the heck? All right, next up is the Displacer Beast. So the Displacer Beast, actually from all of the damage it's received, turns its eyes to Sterling, and it is going to warp at you, and it is going to... All right, it's going to use a tentacle attack on you. This is just a single attack, not like a multi-attack like he did last time, but the tentacle attack has a little bit more going for it. So, Sterling, what's your AC?
My AC is 18.
Okay. All right. Luckily, it misses. So it was able to lose balance as it was running towards you because it's getting hurt. All right. Next up is Atarax. What do you do?
How close am I to Eden? Because I'm sure I would have saw him get gored.
She's just like a couple feet away from you. Like you're
And
all kind of bunched up in a group right now.
Okay. As far as that goes, I will cast Cure Wounds at 2nd level.
All right. How much do you heal for?
And I heal 11 hit points for him.
I still need this.
And then In 1 second, I'm gonna look something up. Let's see if I can. How close am I to the Gorgon, or I mean, whatever's the closest monster, I suppose.
The Displacer Beast is closer right now.
And how far away is he at the moment?
I'd say like 20 feet. Like, you can easily get up to him.
All right. Well, in that case, I'm going to move within. Is there a way I can angle myself where I can? I want to breath weapon them, the Gorgon and the Displacer. It's a 15-foot cone. Is there a way I can angle that to hit them both?
What's your travel speed?
30 feet movement speed.
I would have to say it's not with your full movement, you're not going to get the angle just right, but if you were to move again your next turn, then you'll get the right angle.
Then I will move over and try and set myself up for that.
All right, so you're not going to attack, you're just going to move? Well, you've already spent your action to heal.
Yeah.
Yeah, so, like, it would just be a bonus action left, and...
Okay.
So, yeah, I'll set myself up for the next attack.
All right. Lastly is Mistral. What are you going to do?
You're not ready for this.
She's gonna seduce the Gorgon.
I am going to seduce the Gorgon with my vicious mockery.
Are you playing into the meme?
Hey, for all you know, the Gorgon could be totally a sub.
Yeah, exactly. Don't assume.
Don't assume, but we're gonna try. So I would like to cast.
I doubt
some
Medusa
vicious
was a
mockery.
sub.
Wait. Can we all say subscribe to Mistral's OnlyFans to see more Mistral on Gorgon action? I'm sorry, go on.
Please draw that.
All right, so Mistral, you use a Vicious Mockery?
Yes.
Okay, mock it.
You're so ugly that.
Yes?
And then I just start laughing because it's so hard to describe how ugly this Gorgon is that it's just like, oh, and I kind of just like,
Ugh, I can't even.
is the Gorgon just looking at me with like confusion, and I'm just like, I'm sorry, you're just, it's like your aura, it's really, it's hard to even comprehend that it's like this really, it's ugly. So like, I'm sorry, but I'm not.
Okay, so it needs to make a wisdom saving throw.
I want to see you in a real fight.
Okay, so the DC was a 15, it rolled a 19. So unfortunately your Vicious Mockery just doesn't affect it. All right.
Oh, poor Mistral.
All right. We are now at the top of the round. Sterling, it is your turn. What are you going to do?
All right. So I got 2 little hummingbirds in my back pocket. I'm going to use them first. Raining hellfire down on the Displacer Beast.
All right.
Reflex save 2 times, please.
Oh, yes. Let's see. What's the DC again?
That is 12.
Okay, so it succeeds the first time. Rolled a nat 1 the second time.
Hey,
All
that's
right,
another
for the
one.
first one that's halved is, excuse me, it's 5, 6, 7, 8. So 4 points of damage on the first one, and then 7, 10 on the second one.
All right, this thing is struggling to stay standing, but it is looking no less vicious.
And
Yep, it's I'm sorry?
Oh, excuse me. Those were just my hummingbirds. I get to attack now.
Oh, right. Okay, yeah, go.
And for the first attack, that's 17 on the dice plus 7.
Okay, yeah, that hits. Roll damage.
And give me 1 second. Let me roll the second one if you don't mind. And 5 plus 7, so what? 12. Is that math right? So I'm assuming the second one misses at 12.
Yes.
Okay. And then 5 points of damage on that first hit.
All right. Still not quite dead yet, but it's almost getting there.
Okay.
Next up is Yip.
All right. So
Are you still up in midair?
Yeah.
Flitting around.
Yip used fly.
Yeah. Okay. Here's the plan. I'm going to come down a bit, still like out of the range. Okay. Would you say by the looks of it, the displacer beast looks bloodied?
Yeah, it's definitely bloodied.
Definitely bloodied. Okay. I think okay. I'm going to fly down to be 10 feet above the displacer beast. So, like, out of the range, and I'm going to poke at it with my spear.
All right, so you poke at it. Roll to attack.
Yeah. All right. Nat 20, baby.
Yay!
That's another $10. And you do double damage, right? Not
Dude, it doesn't
dice.
even matter. You take your spear and you literally just shish kebab right through the displacer beast's brain.
Delicious.
I was kind of
Insight
hoping to
into
see if I could use insight on it in my turn, but
Wait,
alright.
so you just kind of did like you dived bombed this thing?
Yes. For Kamina.
Freaking sick.
The moment you basically land on top of this beast and you stab it in the brain with the spear, the blood splashes out of the wound and gets on you.
Oh,
Yip,
Oh no.
Yip,
Yeah.
you are now enraged.
Wait, doesn't he have to do a charisma saving for
On his next turn.
right? My bad.
All right. Next up is the Gorgon. The Gorgon rears up, and it's going to let loose with another plume of stone gas. I need you all to make Constitution saving throws.
Son of a bitch.
That's an 11,
Plus
3.
and I got an 11.
Okay.
I got a 20.
Mistro. By Andy.
I got an 8.
Huh? Huh?
It's not 26, but I mean, it's nice.
You know what? I'm gonna make a sticker that says that.
Do it.
I got a 14.
Sell that on your OnlyFans.
Okay, so hold on. Davina, Polo, what did you roll?
I got an 11.
Kira, Atarax, what did you roll?
8.
We both got 8s.
Never said what he got.
Okay. Wait, what?
I didn't hear what Polo got.
I got a 3.
Ooh.
Oh, Polo, you save. That's a
Polo.
joke, I'm sorry.
Polo, Davina, Eden, and Atarax, your legs have turned to stone, and you are all now restrained.
See, that's a good thing because my next roll I have to do a charisma saving throw, so maybe you just save somebody.
Yeah, they're still right next to you. You can still hit them.
Oh god, alright.
So, in speaking of, well, actually, that's...
Polo.
Actually, here's the thing. Even in your enraged state, you know the state that you're in. So, Davina, since it's now your turn, or wait, no, it's Polo's turn. So, Polo, here's what you need to do. You need to make another Constitution saving throw, and this will determine whether the rest of you gets turned to stone.
Okay. 17.
Okay, you are able to just pull your legs out of their stone shell, and you are no longer restrained. What do you do?
Well, I was hoping to do an insight on the displacer beast, but it's dead now. So I was kind of hoping to like tame it and make it.
Say all that again. You cut out.
I was planning to try to make the displacer beast like my pet, my companion. But that's not happening now that it's dead. So.
We'll find you another one, man.
Yeah.
Find you another.
All right. So, well, I guess I got to attack the Gorgon, right? Since the displacer beast is dead.
Yeah, you can certainly try to attack the Gorgon.
I'll use my great sword of vengeance.
Yeah, what I gave you.
All right, roll to attack.
All right. Ah, come on. All right. 20.
A nat 20?
No, well, it's 16 plus the 4 that I got from the.
Okay,
So.
okay, yeah, you definitely hit it. Roll damage.
Okay. 18.
All right, how do you want to do this?
I guess I'll hit straight for the brain too. So.
All right, so you do like it. Basically, looks like the ending of Wind Waker, where you just like you dash over to the Gorgon, and just before it's about to gore you with its horns, you leap up, and then you just master sword your sword of vengeance right into its head. And it doesn't go all the way through, but then the beast just kind of just freezes.
Okay.
All right. The scene is now silent.
I still have to roll for Constitution.
Yeah, you can roll to Constitution, though, like, since it's no longer combat, everyone else can try to help you out and break you out of it.
I got a 6.
Okay, Davina.
Oh, no.
Starting up the battle music again.
Oh, no.
It's like, yeah, everything's fine, guys. Davina's like,
Okay, since, okay, so I need you to make an attack roll on Polo.
Oh, thank God.
Oh, no. Okay. I'm so sorry, but I feel like this would be kind of cool. Can I cast Nordic Shroud?
You cast Nordic Shroud, and you scream like a Valkyrie Banshee as your wings of bone and shadow come out of your back. Now, since you're going after Polo, I need you to make a... Davina, where's your character sheet? There it is. Okay, so Polo, I need you to make a... Where the heck is Nordic Shroud? There it is. Oh, Necrotic Shroud.
I'm sorry.
Okay, Polo, I need you to make a Charisma saving throw. The DC is 11.
Okay. And I get a +2 for my charisma. 7.
You you saw this before back with the fight against the slavers, but this is the first time you're seeing it actually directed towards you. You are now frightened. And
okay.
you can't move. So that counted as Davina's action, so she can't attack at this time. She's just too like at this time. Next up is let's see. Next up is Eden. Eden, yes. I need you to make a Constitution saving throw to see if you turn to stone completely or not, because you didn't get a chance to attack yet.
Yeah, come on, dice. +2, which is 17.
No, 18.
Oh, 18, my bad.
Oh, it doesn't matter. You're able to break free.
Sweet.
All right, so what do you do? Do you want to try and, like, help Davina?
Yeah, I'm gonna try and, like, get her out of the...
Okay, so, like, what are you gonna do?
I'm just gonna, like, not stand in front of her, because that's gonna be dangerous, but, like, stand where she can see me. Be like, use this rage to go after your husband, not us.
Ooh. Davina, make a charisma saving throw.
Okay.
Me?
Yes.
Oh, can I add a little something?
Oh, wait.
I got a 15! Oh.
No, I mean shit. Go for it.
Yeah, you're still good, Davina. With your words, your husband being mentioned, and realize, yeah, I hate him more than my teammates here. You're able to rest yourself out of your enraged status, and you come back to reality, and you don't feel that heat in your body anymore. I would also like to remind you all, Yip is still enraged.
Oh God.
Yeah.
Herb.
All right, so next up is Atarax. Atarax, I need you to make a Constitution saving throw to see if you turn to stone.
Oh man.
You got this.
Is the Gorgon not dead yet? Did I miss that?
No, like it's not moving, dude. Like that sword went right in its head.
Okay, all right.
16.
16. All right, you are able to, with your wings, just flap yourself out of your stone shell. So what are you gonna do?
How high is Yip above me?
He's on the ground. He's on top of the Displacer Beast's body, just doing a Cujo right now.
Now, I'm gonna try something. I have no idea if it's gonna work. But I'm gonna try and run over to Yip, and I'm gonna try and cast lesser restoration on him.
Oh, nice. Okay, you can definitely try.
You have to hit cast.
Yep.
So you used it.
It doesn't really have like a DC or anything. It
Yeah,
says you
so
touch a creature and can either end one disease or one condition afflicting it.
Okay, so you use lesser restoration on it. Yip, you feel this cool soothingness just kind of pass over your body as you can literally feel this hatred exit your body. You are now no longer enraged.
Don't do that.
Our friend saved us with the power of friendship.
Yay.
No. You want to know what he did? I was given my daily dose of
What?
Atarax.
You know that cool, refreshing crisp of Atarax.
Cataract.
All right, so you guys got a dead Displacer Beast and a Gorgon with a sword impaled in its head.
I look at Polo and I say, I'm really sorry.
It's fine. It would happen to the best of us.
I would like to point out for all of you, the band has been here this entire time, just kind of watching.
Oh shit.
Are the rest of the guests here?
That
too, or
was
did they leave?
awesome.
They've all evacuated. You honestly don't know what happened to those other two monsters because they ran off after those other guests, and you've just been in the ballroom this entire time.
That's the City of Lunacy's problem.
We control this manor.
Are the guests still in the manor?
You don't know. You're just in the ballroom. You'll have to actually leave it and go and find out.
No, I think we're fine.
So what are you guys gonna do?
Are you okay? You still look kind of pale.
I was gonna go.
That's
like,
just my skin.
Okay, fair point.
I was gonna go run off after those beasts to try and find them.
Frankly, I think we should talk to the Baron
I
first.
think it's
Find the
fine.
Baron, so he doesn't die. That's why I'm going like taking off.
I look at Eden and I just say, I think.
Yeah, but if he dies, we don't get paid.
That's a valid point.
As
Alright.
soon as you say that, I start looking at the walls for things I could take.
yeah, those candle holders attached to the wall are like solid gold.
Oh,
Right there,
inlay?
dude.
Yep, please,
I
bitch.
look over at the band and I'm like, what are you doing? Run!
And they're like,
Just a constant mariachi that follows.
Yeah, they're a
the
mariachi
party.
band, apparently.
Oh, wait. Hey,
I guess we should go and see.
This is the loudest thing in the
I
world.
think he said something to
Wait,
say.
hold on. Yip.
Yip west and kind of zips off.
what?
Where's the can?
What just happened?
He left.
I guess
Bathroom.
Okay.
we should go and see if the rest of the guests are okay.
Okay, so you all decide to leave? All right, so you all turn around and you head out of the ballroom. But as you turn around, you hear a and then just slowly making motions. That Gorgon is still alive. Even with a sword in its head. By the way, you just left the sword in its head. But somehow it is just like seems to be living just with pure determination, and then it just kind of rears up and then just collapses on the ground.
Oh, thank God.
And then all of the sudden, a massive plume of green gas just explodes out of its body.
Oh no.
I need you all to make Constitution saving throws.
Okay.
That's the theme of this episode, isn't it?
Got 12.
What?
I was gonna say, can I try and use my wings to try and like buffet the gas away from us?
You can certainly try.
I got a 20, by the way.
Well, I mean, my Constitution is 23.
And Yip returns.
Okay, Yip, Constitution save. That Gorgon was still alive and it exploded in stone gas.
13.
That awkward moment you come
Okay.
back to stone
While
gas.
I was gone, were there any nat 1s or nat 20s while I was gone?
Polo rolled a nat 20.
I don't think it was.
Really? Jeez.
Alright. I got a dirty 20.
You got a dirty 20?
That is my new phrase, bro.
Okay, so Yip and Polo. Yip, you're able to quickly fly out of the way, grab Polo by the hands, and like pull him above the floor. So that's how Polo was able to save. Atarax, you are able to flap your wings to try and blow the gas, but here's the problem. This is a huge plume of gas. So while you're able to blow away the gas directly in front of you, the gas to your sides, like with those air currents, kind of loops around and gets behind you. Atarax, Eden, Mistral, Davina, and Sterling, you are all slowly turning to stone. And this time, it's not just your legs, it's not just your feet, it's actually up to your thighs right now.
Evan, I does it look like it's like creeping up our bodies, like
Yes,
all of us?
it is actively progressing. And Polo and Yip are the only ones that are able to save because they rolled super high.
I rolled a 23
Oh,
originally.
that doesn't look good.
I look around at everybody, and Evan, if you allow me to use shared burden for this, I will. I'm going to look over at everybody's that's like turning to stone, and I'm gonna like close my eyes and look down at the ground, and I'm gonna say out loud enough for all of you to hear me in Celestial. I'm gonna say,
Not everybody speaks Celestial.
Now everyone.
hey, that's fine. That's fine. Davina, Davina and Eden, maybe you'd understand a little bit of it.
Whoop.
I would understand all of it because I speak that, but
Yeah. Oh, I was saying Eden a little bit, but anyway, I say everybody's turning to stone. I put my head down, and I say out loud, by Milani's name, Davina, excuse me, who all is turning to stone? Davina, Eden.
It's everyone but Polo and Yip.
Davina, Eden, Mistral, Atarax. By Milani's name, excuse me, I'm trying to get everybody's name. By Milani's name, I release you, Davina, Mistral, Eden, and Atarax. And through shared burden, all of the stone would wipe away from you, and Sterling would turn to stone.
Wow.
At that moment, all of the gas that was creeping over everyone's bodies, except Yip and Polo, because they're like midair, like close to the ceiling, all of that gas pulls away from everyone else's bodies, and the stone you can actually feel coming off of your body. It just kind of breaks off. But then Sterling's body becomes a vacuum, and it just sucks up all the gas in the room. And in just the span of a few seconds, Sterling, wow. It's been a long day. Sterling has now completely been petrified.
Oh my god.
So is that death?
In essence. Shit.
Am I allowed to try Lesser Restoration on Sterling's character to see if that would undo this paralysis?
Unfortunately, that's not going to work. The condition is like way too extreme and complete.
Holy.
By the way, now this time the band has decided to finally leave.
Good
They're
job.
like, this is awkward.
Except one of them though, they were just kind of like watching the entire thing with like popcorn.
Wow. Bitches.
It's like, wow, that was slightly
Rude.
awkward. All right, we're gonna go now. But as Arios is sneaking his way out, he's going to use his sleight of hand to go for the orb.
No!
Oh no.
Oh! Wait a minute, do I fucking see this?
That depends. Arios, I would like you to roll a sleight of hand check. And Davina, I would like you to roll a perception check.
I'm gonna help her.
But you
Does that mean I get advantage?
Oh no!
not in this case, because here's the thing. You don't know what's happening. Like this other person is right behind you.
Where the heck did my dice go? Just fell on the floor and disappeared. Oh, there it is.
Oh! Leah! Oh.
Okay, I got a 19.
Okay, you see this random-ass flute player just, like, inches away from the bag, and she just notices you looking down at him, and he just kind of...
Hi!
I got a 14.
Did Davina take the bag?
no.
Because I took.
So.
Oh, the band left. Only this person stayed behind.
Oh, wait.
What do you think you're doing?
Did Davina take the bag back, or was it still?
No,
with
I
me?
think you still have it.
Oh,
She just sees Arios.
Oh shit! I'm sorry. I thought it was Eden that had the bag.
No, we'll change it from Eden to Yip. We'll change it from Eden to Yip. Same thing happens.
What do you think you're doing?
Same shit, just different shapes.
Nothing. And as he like goes to grab it, he touches it and is like,
do I notice this now?
Yeah, now you do, because now her hands are actually like touching the bag.
It's like,
And I look at her and I just say, I'm sorry, look at him and I just say, get your hands off of the bag, or I will make you take your hands off the bag.
And at this point, he's like actually like touching the orb. It's just like, what?
Do I have to roll for? Do I have to roll?
Is that?
Wait, do I have to roll for intimidation?
Yeah, roll to intimidate.
Okay.
I think I've seen the necrotic
Intimidation is +3. Oh, look at that! I got a 22.
It's not 26.
All right, Arios, you are definitely intimidated.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like I said, at this point, Arios is just kind of like, what the bloody hell is that thing?
What thing? Yourself. Is he pointing at?
What the bloody hell is that orb?
How do you know that their orb is in there?
Oh, he felt it. Like his hands were on the bag.
It's an
He could
emerald.
feel it.
None
He's
of
like,
It's yips. It's yips. I don't know, tennis ball. Why do you care?
all I know, I saw something really weird right then. And
Oh shit, because your hands were.
It's peaceful. What is it?
Like I said, it's just an emerald.
At that
That's
very
not an emerald.
at that
I
moment,
know.
at that moment, ringing in all of your heads, the new one included, you just hear, "I made a friend."
Oh my god, I want to hug it so badly. It's so sweet.
Okay.
Yeah, she was able to like touch the bag that held the orb, so like she felt something.
What is your name, friend?
I'm Arios.
Can I insight check him?
Yeah, go right ahead.
Yeah, what's my insight?
Can I give her advantage for this? Can I help her?
Yeah, sure. You go roll with advantage.
Then you get advantage, dude.
Sweet. No, I have an advantage. Shut up. I got a 10, so a 9.
His name is definitely Arios, because that's all he was able to say before you did your insight check.
Well, that was more of like a feeling of like
with the advantage.
Playing
I mean-
us.
What did you get before?
Advantage just gives you a second chance. That doesn't give you bonus points.
I mean, could I do one? Because I get a +5 with insight for.
Yeah, let's let Polo insight check this new person.
I was just more of like bad feeling or not.
Hey, baby.
No. I don't give a shit. I don't give a shit. You didn't call it.
I got 12. Yeah.
You honestly cannot. Oh dear, my speaker turned off. Well, it's okay. You can't read this person. They're looking. Right now, the only expression that they have on their face is scared. But they are showing off no other emotion. Davina still looks like a Valkyrie of death right now.
I don't. It only lasts a minute.
Okay, so now she just looks like a normal Valkyrie.
Either way, rather tiny stature.
Well, now that cape is gone.
Can I insight?
Wasted my 3 gold.
Everyone insight check. Everyone.
Is Sterling dead, by the way? Are we just kind of rolling over that? Sterling is dead.
I mean, yeah, that kind of.
At that
nothing we can do.
At that moment, you hear like a brisk trotting down the way, and you see Baron Edmund just kind of walking down the hall, and just go like, oh, my ballroom. I don't remember getting a statue.
Ooh.
No.
Big ouch.
Too soon.
Oh, he doesn't. He's too rich to care.
Yeah.
He is racist after all.
Oh, all rich people are racist in this game, apparently.
I know.
And he just kind of like looks at everything, the devastation, kind of looks at you all and goes like, oh, I see you got the other 2. The city gods were able to kill the first 2. Oh, such a shame. How were they able to get out of the cages?
Don't know.
Investigation check.
Okay,
I think I have an inkling. But we don't know.
Okay, so you want to like head over and check the cages?
Yes.
Yep.
All right, you do that. All right, you're able to go through the cages, and it certainly does look like the cages are not broken. Like, that much is obvious. Now, whoever would like to roll an investigation check, do so. Okay, so Davina, roll an investigation check.
All right.
I'm giving you
Got
Oh, Yip is helping you. You have advantage.
Oh, thank God, because I got a 4. Oh, I got a 2 then. Okay, so I got a 4.
These cages looked... All you're able to find out is that these cages weren't broken, but they were unlocked.
Can I just also say that when we do this, I'm pulling... What's your name?
Arios.
Arios. I'm just pulling him with us. I'm like, no, now you know too much. You know.
With us. Like it or not.
Does anyone else want to do an investigation?
I'll try.
Okay, so Eden, you do an investigation.
You touched my shit.
It's 0.
Oh, okay. That's better though than a -1. 14.
Oh, thank God.
All right. You look at those cages, and as you look around, nothing is broken. These cages were definitely unlocked, but as you take a closer look to the locks, you can actually see very tiny traces of like very tiny little brown chips of wood and some tiny fragments of green leaves.
Can I don't have like
Peter Pan.
Oh, I do have nature. Can I do like a knowledge, like a nature check to like see more into that?
You can definitely try.
Okay. 12. Probably not.
Yep, they look like twigs and leaves in the locks.
Can I try a nature check?
Go right ahead.
Okay. I get a +3, so let's see. Yeah, well. Okay, 14.
All right, these are heavy-duty locks. Like, it should be pretty obvious that it's impossible to try and pick the locks with twigs and leaves. So the only thing you're able to conclude is that some form of magic was used to open these locks. And from the little trace elements that you see that are kind of sticking around in the locks, it's a form of magic that you have no idea what it is.
I look
Can I
up
do an Arcana check? Sorry, Yip, what were you saying?
You already did an investigation check.
Okay, so I can't do an Arcana check on the lock?
Well,
give it time. Give it some
Can
time.
I look over at Davina and say, you know, I was briefly talking with your husband during that whole ballroom dancing thing, and he certainly seemed very confident. What?
I said, I'm so sorry.
Yeah, no, that's not what I'm getting at, but he seemed very confident the moment before all this happened. I can't help but feel like he may have had something to
Can
I have that feeling as well, actually. Because he seemed to know a lot more than I thought he did. He knew we were at the library for some reason. And apparently he has eyes and ears all over the city, which makes me want to leave here as soon as possible.
Can I look over?
Go ahead.
Good.
I was just gonna say, can I look over at the Baron, her husband?
Say that again. You cut out again.
Can I look over at the Baron and ask him if he knows Davina's husband?
Edmund just kind of thinks for a moment and goes like, yes, the Balmaris family. They're one of the most richest families in all the territories. Some of the greatest seamstresses, textiles. They've created like all the land's fashion.
Oh, I'm married to the son.
Oh my dear, I should have noticed. Oh, I'm terribly sorry for treating you like such a ruffian.
Oh no, it's fine. We're estranged. Anyway, do they have any reason why they would, or any, I don't know what you would call that, any motive for going after you?
Oh my dear. There's one thing you need to learn about high society, is that people just get bored sometimes and they just simply need to mess with one another.
I think we lost Mistral.
She's back.
She's back.
Okay. Never mind. I'm well aware.
Did you ever show him these monsters prior to the party?
Oh, no, absolutely not. I kept these creatures very hush-hush.
Strange.
Can I, while this conversation's going on, like, ask the orb if he has, like, a bad feeling about what's going on with these locks?
You can certainly do it.
Okay. What do you want to roll?
Not roll. You don't need to roll because you're just asking the orb something.
So I get close, like, trying to do it inconspicuously. It's like, little friend, do you possibly have an inkling of what could have happened here?
The moment you hold that orb and you ask that question, you never noticed it before because you were just too busy investigating the locks in those cages. Mm-hmm. You are right now getting the feeling of complete and utter terror coming from the orb right now. And you just hear it just slowly repeat, like, we mustn't be here. We mustn't be here. They're watching.
Who's what? Wait, do we all hear that, or is it just Eden?
You all hear that, Arios included, and that's where we're gonna end tonight's session.
Yeah.
Damn it!
All right.
Thank you all for joining our stream. We will possibly see you next week.
Oh god, I don't even know how this is gonna go.